All right, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the delay. Just had to make sure that the boys were taken care of. But let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live One Piece volume reading. Today, we are going to be going through volume 63 of the series, titled Otohime and Tiger. Good to see you, Kohagen. Good to see you, Ogata. Good to see you, Aussies. It's showtime. So, let's continue, and let's continue with the story of One Piece. We have 12 chapters today. So, that means that I can't be distracted by anything. I gotta get through all of it. I can't monologue. I can't, drag out things. I just gotta keep going with it in order to make it a much better listening experience for the rest of you. The Story of One Piece, Volume 63. Having finished their 2 years of training, the Straw Hat crew reunites on the Sabaody archipelago. They set sail more determined than ever to reach the New World. The Straw Hats finally reach Fishman Island, said to be 30,000 feet below the sea. But with the new Fishman pirates attacking, it seems like they may be in for a rough time. While they search the island, Neptune appears and invites them to Ryugu Palace, to thank them for rescuing a shark. Inside the palace, Luffy meets the mermaid princess Shirahoshi. But because of Vander Decken, Shirahoshi is unable to leave her room. In order to help grant her wish to leave the palace, Luffy takes her outside for the first time in years. So, like I said, we got 12 chapters. Chapter 615 all the way down to 626. Chapter 615! Mark Curse. Decks of the New World, Volume 3. Mount Corvo. And in this cover art, well, if you guys want to see what I'm seeing, either go to the official site on Viz, or Manga Plus is a good alternative if you guys want to get an accurate translation, which is basically the same as Viz. But as I always say, support the official release. But in this Decks of the New World, Volume 3, Mount Corvo, we got the Dawn and her gang, not only celebrating the return of Luffy, but also making up multiple books about Luffy and Ace. And I guess they're making scrapbooks. They're making scrapbooks of Luffy into multiple books. Hey, Luffy! Wait! Megalo! Because in the last chapter, Megalo burst out of Shirahoshi's room with Luffy on top and Shirahoshi stuffed in his mouth. Wait! Megalo! Where are you going? And Megalo is, struggling and gagging while he flies off in another direction.
Father, brothers, everyone at the castle, please forgive me. I'm going out without permission, but I'll be back in time for dinner.
Let's go take that walk! You thought Manga Plus was official too? Is it? I thought Manga Plus was just, another regular manga site. Are they official? Well, I guess if that is the case, then I guess I've been giving people 2 different options to read official translations. So, I guess they are. I never really looked into the site overall. But let's focus. Let's go take that walk! What's going on, Megalo? How could you burst open the door of Shell Tower like that? What if something happened to the princess? Skeleton, hurry up and make sure the princess is safe. You're a real bone driver. Ah! She's gone! Princess Shirahoshi is gone! What? The mermaid princess is gone? This is terrible! It's a national emergency! Who could have done this? And when? She's been kidnapped! Kidnapped! And someone appears behind Brook and the Minister of the Right with a sword, and Brook easily dodges out of the way. Hey! What do you think you're doing? Where's the switch that opens the passageway? And this is a human that was thrown at the castle because of, Vander Decken. Where's the switch that opens the passageway that connects Fishman Island with Ryugu Castle? What? What switch? Skeleton, hurry back to King Neptune! I must report the situation to him! Because all the humans that were thrown into the wall, they all start to get up. We have to follow our orders! If we don't, we're dead men! Now talk! Or we'll all be killed! What are you talking about? Coral Hill, Fishman Island.
clobber all the soldiers!
Rats, that was my chance to get into Ryugu Castle, but they wanted to put me in irons.
Look around you! Now everybody thinks we're mean!
Pipe down. What's done is done.
Then think before you do things!
Well, you did about half of them with your kung fu thing. That was pretty impressive.
I'm not proud of that.
And then someone screaming.
Ah!
A woman. There's a
fishman on the beach and he's covered in blood! Ah!
Aren't you from the Fishman district? What happened to you?
Somebody get a doctor! Huh? Hey! I'm a doctor!
Hachi! Oh, it's Hachi, and he's just full of arrows all over his body. Hachi, what happened?
Hachi, it's us! Who did that to you?
It's you guys. I'm so glad to see you. Is Straw Hat with you?
He's not here right now.
He's not here right now. We need to get you some first aid fast!
Get your people together right now!
As Hachi grabs onto Sanji.
It's better if you guys don't get involved with Fishman Island. Leave now! The new Fishman pirates are about to invade. The kingdom of Ryugu will be laid to waste.
A few hours earlier at Noah, the Fishman district. And we got Vander Decken. Listen, all of you pirates under Hody Jones, you're all very lucky. You're about to take part in a historic mission. But Vander Decken, the captain of the Flying Dutchman? Bah! Don't worry, I'm not a ghost. I'm a descendant of the original Vander Decken. Then again, I am cursed. Even though I'm a fishman, I can't swim. But in exchange, I have the power of the Mark fruit. Allow me to demonstrate. All right, I choose you, human. Step forward. Huh? And then someone screams, Hody! Oh, and it's Hachi.
Hody! Hey, are you guys serious? Stop this right now!
It's Hachi.
Good old Hachi!
Hachi.
Those energy steroids will kill you! Why would a fishman want to destroy Fishman Island? Don't underestimate the great knight Neptune!
Give me a break, Hachi. I'm sick of listening to you. I can't believe we once looked up to you as one of Arlong's officers. Now you're just a coward. It's time for a new generation to take over. Neptune stands in the way of our proving to the humans that we are the superior race. Those are your teachings.
But Arlong lost! Vander Decken? Hyozo? Why are you here? Why are you here now? You didn't answer Arlong's call years ago. Why are you helping these upstarts now?
Helping them? Yeah, they're paying me. Because Hyozo is always drinking. So he's like, helping them? They're paying me. Arlong was a bit on the stingy side. He couldn't afford me. I feel sorry for Arlong if you're the best swordsman he could find. And you're like, I feel sorry for Arlong if you're the best swordsman he could find. Bah! So you're Hachi of the Arlong Pirates. Your captain wanted to make me his minion. He must have been mad. I'll never be anyone's flunky. Hody knows that. And then Hody speaks up. I respected Arlong's strength and accomplishments, but he was rough and lacked finesse. When you swabs were wreaking havoc on the high seas, we were too young to be pirates. But now we're all grown up now. We won't make the same mistakes you made. I am Arlong's successor. I will carry on his legacy, and I'm here to fulfill Raz Arlong's destiny. I'm sorry. I had to do it. Sir Cashalot, good to see you. I am Arlong's successor. I will carry on his legacy. Oh, right. I forgot. Oh, my goodness. Sorry. I gotta step away. I know I said I wasn't gonna do this, but I gotta step away. I forgot the family went out to go get groceries and they need help with the drinks. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back. Okay, false alarm. False alarm. False alarm. They didn't go grocery shopping yet. They did not go grocery shopping yet. They only went out to get breakfast. Let's continue where we left off. Channeling your inner Bane? Yeah, a little bit.
I am Arlong's successor. I will carry on his legacy. When a former officer of Arlong's band objects to our plan, it really dampens the enthusiasm. By coincidence, the one who thwarted your dreams, Straw Hat Luffy, is on Fishman Island right now. What do you say to that?
Sorry, I did a lot of running.
I was one of Arlong's top men, yet Luffy still called me his friend.
And this surprises everyone because Luffy's a human. And the way the new Fishman pirates feel about human is like they're less than nothing. The same way people see bearers in Final Fantasy XVI.
He saved my life, too. I'd like to go see him right now, but as long as the legacy of Arlong lives on here, I can't go see them.
You call a human your friend. That's the same rubbish Neptune was spewing. I've had enough of you.
And then Vander Decken walks over and pats Hachi on the back.
Locked on, Hachi. Bah! Have you forgotten the pirate way? We settle our disputes with blood. Here.
And Vander Decken just tosses a knife into the air, which then not only changes its directory, but also goes, huh? A knife? It changes its directory and winds up hitting Hachi directly in the back. The knife suddenly changed direction! It stabbed the octopus man!
The moment I touched you, you became my target. Now I can throw anything anywhere and it will seek out its target and fly at you like a bird of prey.
The Mark curse!
There are plenty of ways to defend against it. Go ahead and experiment.
As another fishman brings a whole bunch of arrows over to Vander Decken.
Stop! What are you doing with those arrows? I've heard the rumors about your powers. I'll be killed if he does that, Hody! Stop Vander Decken!
I told you, Hachi. Vander Decken isn't my minion. We're all equals in this pirate alliance. Besides, I'm sick of you. Coward!
Darn it!
And Hachi starts running, and Vander Decken throws a massive bundle of arrows into the air.
There! Now go!
So we get the full laugh of Hody Jones. Ja ha 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 ha.
Run away! Run away! But they will pursue you wherever you go!
As Hachi rounds the corner, it's basically Vander Decken's power gives him the same relentless aim of Darkseid's Omega Beams. Though not as dangerous, though. But no matter where Hachi goes, the arrows continue to fly up behind him. And he even goes fully into the water to try and get away, but the arrows still pursue him.
Get away! They're even following me through the water?
And they get closer and closer until they all hit their mark and find their way directly into Hachi. Then there's just silence. There's just silence. And then Vander Decken continues to speak.
Bah! I can designate one target with each of my bombs. Just two. I haven't washed my right hand since I touched Princess Shirahoshi that one time 10 years ago.
This man has not washed his hand in 10 years. Nasty. 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 I'm not even going to get into it.
Do you understand? My love and my missiles will follow their target deep into the depths of hell. That is my power!
That's incredible!
So that's how he managed to stalk her without being caught by Neptune's army. Bah! He's so underhanded and sneaky! 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 All right, human pirates. You've seen Vander Decken's powers. Now the first phase of the plan. Ryugu Castle is said to be impregnable, but Vander Decken has been hurling weapons into it for years. Now he will throw you in there and you'll fly straight at the mermaid princess. Only the first thing you hit will probably be the wall of a tower. Your job is to open the gates from the inside.
That's impossible! We'd be smashed to death against the stone!
Of course. That's why I'm using you humans. Your lives are cheap here. You're worth less than slaves. If you hit the tower and survive, fulfill your mission. If you do it well, I'll set you free. If you refuse, then I'll throw you into the water right now. You sorry specimens of an inferior race.
I like doing this Hody Jones voice, I really do.
What?
The passage to the Shell Tower, northeast section of Ryugu Castle. Hi, skeleton! To the king!
Wait! We have to open the passage, or Hody will kill us!
King! King, not down! There's been an abduction! Someone has kidnapped a princess! Oh, and pirates are raining down on the tower! We're under attack!
Kidnapped? Shirahoshi? Who did it?
The castle's under attack. Now what? Goes Zoro.
Why now? We're confined in the castle in the middle of an enemy attack! What should we do? Wait, don't answer that!
Let's cut him.
I told you not to answer!
Then we cut to the outside, where Shirahoshi is with Luffy. And Megalo is still choking on Shirahoshi stuffed in his mouth. Maybe you can get out of the shark now.
No, I prefer to stay inside.
And every once in a while, Megalo is just holding Shirahoshi in as best as he can. So how does it feel to be out after 10 years?
It's exciting, but I feel like I'm doing something really bad.
How is going outside bad? You're so weird.
Is this what they call an adventure?
Yeah. If you're excited, then it's an adventure. So what's this forest of the sea? Is there something interesting there?
There's a grave I've never been able to visit. It's the place I wanted to go most these last 10 years.
Deep sea, the forest of the deep sea, the forest of the sea.
10 years ago, that incident shook Fishman Island. An assassination in broad daylight. Has it really been that long? The princes have grown to be hardened warriors, and although Princess Shirahoshi is still confined in that tower, none of us have forgotten your ideals, Queen Otohime.
And the person speaking is Jimbei himself. And that's the end of chapter 615. Onwards to chapter 616, but first, an SBS. We've recently learned how to use the color of observation hockey, so I'm going to try and guess what you're about to do, Orochi. You're starting SBS. Sign Yoyogi Parks. Duh, you read my mind. Darn you, hockey user. So I guess we just got started, but first I got 3 things I need to say to you all. Once again, due to the selfishness of yours truly, Volume 63 is a special volume containing 12 chapters, but the price is the same as always. That means I couldn't take a single page for the end of volume extras. I'm really sorry. Number 2, because there aren't as many extras, the voice actor SBS will carry over to next volume. Oh man, I'm so sorry for keeping Brooks' voice actor Cho waiting. Next volume, I swear. And number 3, okay, recently I loved canned food. Ouch. Hey, could you stop throwing things? What the heck? Do you not want to hear what I've been up to recently? But canned mackerel is so good! I haven't had, sardines. Like, sardines where you have to roll back the thing. Like, the one that's marinated in, spices and sauce and has, this red sauce for it. I haven't had those in a very long time. Question. I have a question about the cover of chapter 614. You know, the one with Makino holding a baby. What I want to know is that Makino's baby? And am I the father? Sign Tan Popo. Answer. Of course you're not! Sorry, I got a little worked up there. But well, it does mean that Makino has become a mother. She looks very happy. And I bet that guy's the father. Yeah, it's gotta be that guy. To this very day, we still don't know who that guy is. Just saying, that's not even a spoiler. Psycho, welcome back. Chapter 616, Anniversary for Revenge. Decks of the World, Volume 4. Shell's Town server in training. Rika, also known as the little girl that created rice balls to feed Zoro. way back at the beginning of the series. She's now working in a food kitchen for Marines, while secretly having a wanted poster of Luffy in the background as well. So we're cutting back to some of the supporting people who were there, like, during the introduction of many characters throughout the series. It's pretty cool. Ryugu Palace! Ryugu Palace! Come in, Ryugu Palace!
Mommy, what's that?
And all the citizens of Fishman Island are looking up as we see something flying overhead. And Luffy sees it in the distance as well. And Megalo is still having one of the hardest times trying to keep Shirahoshi stuffed inside his mouth. This man is sweating and he's crying. It's more than he can take. There's something flying over there, but it's too far away to make out, goes Luffy. Ryugu Palace! This is the border control! That's strange. Why don't they respond? Is the transponder snail sick? Fishman Island has been entered by some dangerous people from the Fishman district. We're making this announcement as a public service. They do not look like they're here for a shopping trip. We sincerely hope nothing bad happens. And I recognize the shape of one of these animals because the sea beast that one of the sea beasts that Hammond was riding on, one of them, along with Hammond, was a giant sea beast giraffe. And that same shape is in the air right now. So this is already bad. But we get Hody Jones!
Hear me. Today is the day. Today all of Fishman Island shall be united as one. Mermen, mermaid, and fishmen must come together. Humans are an inferior race that can't even breathe underwater. It is our destiny to rule over them. Today, we are going to set things right.
And on the backs of all of these sea beasts is all of Hody Jones and Vander Decken's crew as they're flying over the citizens.
Bah! Today I'll celebrate my engagement to Shirahoshi, but there's no hurry. I'll marry her tomorrow.
Today is when I celebrate my engagement to Shirahoshi. There's no worry. I'm marrying her tomorrow. I feel like you're missing like a couple of days leading up to that.
The Sun Pirates, that annoying band led by Jimbei, are gone now.
Neptune, Fukaboshi, Ryuboshi, Mamboshi.
Once we take those four, once we take down those four, the Neptune army will be nothing. Muchi!
Ah! Let's tear them all to shreds!
If you want me to cut them, I'll cut them.
Let's begin. Go capture your objectives. From this day on, the Ryugu Kingdom is finished. We will be the rulers of the deep sea.
Aye! And the sea beasts go, with the crews, go in all opposite directions. Fish bus stop, heading for the forest of the sea.
Call them. She got away.
And then we're on the bus. And who's on the bus? It's Robin!
I knew I could get some information. The poneglyph is here. This country should hold the key to the 100-year void.
Don't make it sound like I wanted to cut them down. Ryugu Palace.
You had a huge grin on your face while you were fighting. You're a natural-born killer.
And this is the Minister of the Left. What did you want me to do? Do you serve tea to pirates who are trying to cut your head off?
Yes, I do. I'll give them some tea and ask to have a little chat. These guys wouldn't go for the...
These guys wouldn't go for that.
At any rate, you beat them all, and now we have no idea what they wanted.
That's not my problem.
Things just keep going from bad to worse.
Luffy met the mermaid princess, didn't he? I want to meet her too.
Who cares about that? Untie me! Give me back my Shirahoshi!
Why would we kidnap the mermaid princess?
Straw Hat Luffy is the culprit!
I know. I saw Luffy and the shark leave that room, but I don't remember seeing the mermaid princess anywhere.
She would never leave the palace of her own accord. Shirahoshi is as big as I am. If she'd gone out, everyone would have seen her.
What?
What? The mermaid princess is that big? And Brooke is thinking that Shirahoshi is shaped just like her dad. You know, very top heavy and very wide. Basically like a giant kokoro to a degree.
I've got it! Maybe he spirited Shirahoshi away after stuffing her inside Megalo's mouth!
Don't make us laugh at a time like this, your majesty.
The fact that he got it right on the first try, though. Maybe Neptune isn't as oblivious as one might think. He literally guessed the method that Luffy got Shirahoshi out of her room.
Even if someone were stupid enough to think of an idea like that, no one would ever actually do it. It's just insane.
It's so crazy, it just might work.
Anyway, our captain would never kidnap anyone. Go suspect someone else.
And this is Nami.
No, there is no one else. I will not allow you to leave until Shirahoshi has been returned to me.
What?
The entrance of Ryugu Palace. And it cuts to one pirate who manages to get closer and well, we actually see that the human pirates, made their way over to the gates to the palace, and they flipped all the switches to open up the kingdom itself. The Forest of the Sea, northeast of Fishman Island.
This is a so-called graveyard of ships. The currents bring all...
This is a so-called... Oh, wait. This is someone speaking to Frankie, because Frankie's here. This is a so-called graveyard of ships. The currents bring all the sunken ships here. Isn't it ironic? Here of all places, the blessed sun tree Eve allows the coral to flourish, and makes the fish and whales gather. The whales all know where the seas are fertile. I live in this mysterious forest of the sea in order to study it.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. The wonderland in the lifeless depths of the sea. But that's true of Fishman Island, too. How did you get
the jewel tree Adam Wood anyway? This is a fine ship, worthy of the materials it's made of.
I knew you'd say that. Tom used exactly the same materials to make the Pirate King ship. This design is my masterpiece.
I'll handle the coding. You can trust me on that.
What was your name again?
Den!
Den! You and Tom don't look anything alike, and you're a merman to boot. Tom was a cowfish. I thought you'd be a bit more like Tom since you're brothers.
That's a very human way of thinking. I guess family members on land tend to resemble each other. It's a bit different with us. Fishman and merman have their own genes. If an octopus mermaid has a child that's a shark merman, that just means there is a shark merman somewhere in their lineage. So, we get introduced to Den, Tom's little brother, shipwright and Forest of the Sea researcher, bearing wolffish merman. And I gotta say, the design for Den is really cool. I like how he looks here. On Fishman Island, no one is surprised, no matter what their child looks like. We never quite understood why you humans separate people according to their looks. I don't know either. And judging people based on their looks. It's a stupid way of thinking. By the way, do you have a robot somewhere in your lineage?
I'm human.
I read all about you and Iceberg in the letters.
Oh, right. Old Lady Kokoro wrote to you.
I know what happened, even what happened to my brother. He lived the life he wanted, and considering how you came all the way here to tell me, he had a great student under him.
You flatter me.
As Frankie makes his hair change by pressing his nose.
By the way, who's that sitting over there?
Huh? That's Big Boss Jimbei.
Big Boss?
He's waiting for someone. He's a wanted fugitive, so he can't enter the island. Ryugu Palace entrance, connecting passageway. And it shows the entrance, someone going through the entrance. Main gates. Royal gates of the palace. You! How did you get here? That face! You're that accursed Vander Decken! You've finally shown yourself!
What does he want?
And look! That's Hody Jones of the Fishman District! What is he doing back here?
Hody? Yes.
He was once one of the king's finest soldiers!
No way! I came here to start a war, but Neptune and his soldiers are all tied up! I don't believe it. Is this a present for us? Maybe it's a trap. Everything's going much too smoothly.
And Hody Jones and Vander Decken have already entered the palace, with Zoro and the rest of the Straw Hats staring him down. It's one thing after another. The palace is really hopping today.
Come on, you have to let us get our weapons! Are you collaborating with them? You must have brought them here. Look, we're only here because you guys invited us. Who are those tough-looking guys, anyway?
Vander Decken, now it's all clear. You're the culprit. Give me back my daughter.
Bah, we're not even married yet, Dad, and you want her back already?
I'm not your dad. Where's Shirahoshi? She had better be safe.
What are you talking about? Has she gone somewhere?
Don't play dumb with me. Why else would she suddenly disappear from her room?
My Shirahoshi disappeared?
She's my Shirahoshi, not yours.
Your Majesty, don't listen to that man.
And it cuts to Hody Jones, who's holding up a human.
Calm down, Vander Decken. The humans you threw at the mermaid princess are right here, which means she was in the palace just a short time ago. And it doesn't matter if what they say is true or not. You have a way to find out where she is.
You're right. You're a sharp one, Hody, I think. Come on, Coral. Fly to Shirahoshi.
And Vander Decken cuts off this gigantic piece of coral and throws it into the air.
It's not going to Shell Tower.
Funny because the only person Zoro can't outdrink is Nami. Yeah, she outdrank everybody.
He's not going to Shell Tower. I've loved her these past 10 years until death do us part.
And Vander Decken jumps on top of the coral as it goes sailing towards Luffy, Shirahoshi, and Megalo.
Bah! If I can't have you, no one can! I'll kill you!
And you think she wants to marry you with that type of mentality? You crazy. That's the end of chapter 616. Onwards to chapter 617, but first another SBS. Is Chopper wearing a bonnet over the hat he wore 2 years ago? If it's not, could you please explain it thoroughly? Sign Onuki. Answer, you're not wrong. He just put something on top of it. The pink hat is really special to Chopper, so he wouldn't change it. Wow, so you mean, wow, I didn't know! All this time, I didn't know! So you mean to tell me that Chopper's time skip hat is really just an extra hat on top of his top hat that he always wears? How did I not notice? I thought it was just a new type of hat, but it's just like an additional part on top of the hat. How did I not know? You're not wrong. He just put something on top of it. The pink hat is really special to Chopper, so you wouldn't change it. I'd like to see the Kraken picture that Robin drew. Signed, Ruki. And it's a very rough drawing of the Kraken. Good question. Let's take a look. Yeah! Question. In chapter 612, there was someone, a fish who looked like Octopaco, at Fishman Hills. Why was she so angry? Signed, Princess Shirasuboshi. Answer. There is, isn't there? Octopaco is the woman who dumped Hachi, and she appeared on the chapter cover of chapter 203 in volume 22. You've got good eyes. She's actually a socialite who grew up in Fishman Hills. She dreams of marrying the prince, but of course she's never even been to Ryugu Palace. So she's angry that Kami, who used to work at Hachi's store, and a bunch of pirates from who knows where were invited to Ryugu Palace. She's like, I've never even been! Also, she seems like the gold-digging type, so kind of avoid her. Chapter 617, Incident at Coral Hill. Decks of the World, Volume 5, Frost Moon Village, reporting to Kuina. And it is Zoro's swords master. And he's there at Kuina's grave with her kendo training sword and the newspaper of Zoro's return. And he's just smiling. And then we have screaming.
Yeah! Vander Decken went after Shirahoshi! Please, I'll give you anything you want. Let me go after Decken. You can have all my treasure. You can slay my soldiers. Anything you want.
Hey, Your Majesty!
You capture Shirahoshi, my precious Shirahoshi!
You're pathetic, Neptune. You're pathetic, Neptune. And to think the hated Straw Hats helped us take over Ryugu Palace.
Hated?
And then Nami notices the mark of Arlong on the arm of Hody.
That's Arlong's mark.
Jimbei told us something suspicious was going on in the Fishman district. Are you the mastermind behind this, Hody? But you are a soldier in Neptune's army. Have you no shame?
Shame. I take no pride in having served Neptune. I only joined his army to learn how to fight. It's as simple as that.
You...
Thanks to you, I'm strong now. We fishmen have long been unjustly oppressed by humans. I've seen it with my own eyes since I was a child. I looked up to Arlong because he turned the tables on the humans. Now we'll continue his legacy as the new Fishman Pirates.
And a look of horror goes across Nami's face because she understands how grave a situation this is. She was literally brought up on this type of oppression.
I trained to become Arlong's right-hand man when he began his conquest of the world from the East Blue, but a band of humans thwarted him.
Those fishmen want to pick up where Arlong left off?
No way. Arlong? Just kidding. I've never actually eaten an Arlong before. Yo! Ow! Usopp, why are you kicking me? And the look of just anger is on Nami's face because this is PTSD all over again.
Step back.
And Hody goes over to a wall. You're like near the hinge of the door. And he places his hand on the wall.
Shock grip!
And with just him gripping, like he has his hand on the wall. And then with strength, he starts gripping onto the wall. And it causes pretty much the vast majority of the wall to get cracked instantly from the increased pressure. And everyone's shocked to see it. Well, it's really just the two ministers and the soldiers.
How strong is his grip?
Goes Usopp.
He hasn't taken it yet, right?
No, he's still clean.
And then the entire wall completely crumbles. The entire wall completely crumbles into the palace and causes a cascade of water to start flooding in.
Ah! The walls gave way!
Rats! The sea's flooding the palace.
Ah! This is really bad!
And Hody lets water fall over his arm.
Get down! It's coming! Ah! Watch out for the water drops!
Shock arrows!
And Hody swings his arm, and then impacts happen at the point of everyone in front of Hody.
Those droplets of water are turning into arrows.
There's they're first like regular droplets, and then they start to get smaller and thinner and longer. And the shots hit multiple soldiers. From the immense strength, the water turns into literal water bullets.
You! How dare you harm my soldiers! Stop, you fiend!
As Neptune uses his body to fall over the top of his soldiers so that he could take the attack.
Ugh.
Your Majesty, please stop!
You're a fool, Neptune. What kind of a king endangers himself to protect his soldiers? You were never fit to rule.
The best kind of king?
Your Majesty!
Blast you, Hody!
That monster! He's hurting defenseless people! He's way stronger than Arlong!
Single sword style. Bird dance. And Zoro lets off a long slash that goes straight towards Hody.
Wait! Captain Hody! Look out!
And the slash winds up hitting another fishman that's part of Hody's crew that he basically used as a human shield. He just holds out the dude in front of him so that he could take the whole attack. What kind of a king allows himself to be injured, endanger his own life to protect his soldiers? The exact opposite of you, Hody. You literally just showed the polar opposite of how that works. Neptune protected his own, you used your own to protect yourself. So that's exactly... that right here shows you that Hody only cares about himself. Yeah. I actually thought his name was Hody Jones as well. Hody Jones, but I thought it was Hody for a while, but Hody. He used his own man as a shield.
He used his old man as a shield! That scoundrel!
Hey, go and untie the soldiers, goes Zoro.
What?
And Hody is still smiling after using his own man to save him, to keep himself from being injured. Listen, everyone, Nami's gone, and I'm losing strength through my feet.
What? Nami?
We didn't hold up our end of the deal. We promised the hostages wouldn't be harmed.
What an honorable man!
And this is Zoro, which just shows you that despite how brazen Zoro can be, there's still an immense sense of honor within him. That's why I love Zoro. He's a great character.
Run for it!
Run for it, and untie the people next to you. I can't anymore. Because Brook is starting to get slowly and more submerged into seawater, which, you know, causes the devil fruit user to become weak.
Stop them,
Goes Hody.
Crush Neptune's army and the Straw Hats. Kill them all.
And then Hody's crew rushes the Straw Hats.
Special attack! Green Star! Rafflesia!
And it's this big giant flower.
Whoa, a ground flower suddenly sprouted.
That's strange. Eat this!
And the smell from the flower is so strong that it causes the new Fishman pirates to reel in how bad it smells. But Hody just goes,
Ah! It stinks!
Nonsense.
and he just holds his nose, so it still affects him, but he's not reacting to it as extravagantly as the rest of them.
Zoro! The water's getting really high!
I'm done for.
Untie the ropes and take your weapons! Untie the ropes and take your weapons!
And then a chain gets cut through, and it's Zoro who cuts the chains off of Neptune. I need a favor. Can you get those two away from the palace to safety?
But what about you?
If he follows us, we're all finished. And then Zoro takes a deep breath, and he goes underwater to face off against Hody Jones. Do you know how confident you gotta be to go into the water and fight a fishman on purpose? I'm sorry. Let's keep going.
Don't interfere. This kingdom is mine.
The coast of Coral Hill.
Don't play dumb, you pirates! 2 more young mermaids were kidnapped from the southern coast. What did you do with them?
Why are you blaming us? It's true that I love mermaids so much I want to carry them off, but I would never do that.
Look, you just said you wanted to!
I don't think he really should have said that at all, Sanji.
Get a hold of yourself, Hachi! You'll be okay! Ow!
As they're throwing things at Chopper while Chopper's trying to tend to Hachi. Hey! Chopper! Sanji! How's your nosebleed, Sanji?
Luffy! What are you doing with that pufferfish? Are those your friends, Luffy?
They're my pirate crew.
Look, it's their captain! He's the one behind the kidnappings.
I mustn't let them see me. Megalo, can you close your mouth a little more?
And Megalo is having the hardest time keeping Shirahoshi hidden. Huh? I'm going down there for a second. And Luffy just jumps off of Megalo and lands right in front of Hachi and company. Whoa! What a jump! Hachi, it's you! Are you hurt? Who did that to you?
He won't say. He just keeps telling us to leave the island.
Straw Hat.
I thought the Straw Hat Pirates were occupying Ryugu Palace.
They kidnapped the mermaids. They must have tried to kidnap Princess Shirahoshi, too.
That's impossible. The princess is a giant smelled mermaid and Neptune's daughter. Nobody'd be that bold. What's with that pufferfish? And then Megalo can't hold it anymore and spits out Shirahoshi. Shocking everybody. Princess Shirahoshi!
Oh.
Uh-oh.
She's huge! Wait, did they say princess? The mermaid
What? Something's behind me?
Sanji, no! Don't turn around!
Ah! He kidnapped the mermaid princess!
If you turn around, you'll die!
And that's the end of chapter 617. Onwards to chapter 618, Proposal! Princess Shirahoshi is being kidnapped! Hey, Wimpy, why'd you come out of the shark?
I'm sorry, Luffy. Please don't be mad at me.
And she just starts crying.
That evil pirate made the princess cry!
Sanji, no! Don't turn around no matter what!
Princess? Are you telling me the mermaid princess is right behind me?
That's right! So you can't turn around, Sanji! Looking at regular mermaids almost killed you! You'll be done for if you see the mermaid princess!
The mermaid princess. They say even the world's most beautiful woman, the pirate empress, pales in comparison to her, and she's right behind me. If I can't even reach out to a dream that's right in front of me. Chopper, I'd rather live my dream and die.
I thought your dream was all blue! Sanji, no!
And then Sanji turns around and looks at Shirahoshi. What? And his heart starts pumping. I realize now how lacking my imagination was. She's sublime. The greatest artist in the world could never capture such beauty! And then Sanji turns to stone. He just turns to stone right then and there.
He turned to stone!
So, who did that to you anyway, Hachi? Sanji's never been this close to death even when he was starving. No, he has not. So who did that to you anyway, Hachi?
It's a new symptom. Could it be because that blood transfusion from those two? Luffy, what do I do?
And Shirahoshi's still crying. And then the citizens gather up on Luffy and everyone else, and they tie him up, including Sanji, who's still turned to stone. They still bound him up.
We got him! We've caught the Straw Hats! You're up against the fishermen of Fishman Island!
Hey, what's your problem?
I remember you. You're that scalawag who used to sail with Arlong.
You have it all wrong. Luffy was just...
Don't worry, princess. We'll behead these criminals and...
Huh? Hey, something's coming this way. Look.
What are you talking about? We're not falling for your tricks.
Hey, something really is coming this way.
Huh? Is that Vander Decken? I found you, I think. Bah-ho-ho-ho-ho! Shirahoshi!
Vander Decken!
After all this time, he's finally come back to the island! Princess, you have to run away! We'll hold them off! Answer me, Shirahoshi! All you have to do is to escape death is say yes! Bah-ho-ho-ho-ho-ho-ho! Marry me! After trying to kill her for all these years, he's still proposing to her?
And then his Shirahoshi, with tears in her eyes, just goes,
You're not my type.
and then everyone just gets sent back from this knowledge. It wasn't the matter of him trying to kill her over all these years. You know, murder proposals, throwing weapons at her to the point where she had to be sealed in a room with an unbreakable door. It's the fact that he's not her type. It's understandable, haven't I say?
That's the problem!
And Vander Decken is just taken aback from this refusal.
Ugh. You've been rejecting me for 10 years. Who are you waiting for? If you won't love me, you don't deserve to live! Die, Shirahoshi!
I fail to understand the logic in that. And he brandishes 2 axes. Run, Princess Shirahoshi! Don't run! Stay where you are, Wimpy!
What are you talking about? Are you one of Are you one of Decken's goons? You want the princess to die?
If you run away, I can't protect you!
All right, I'll stay here.
Princess! Shia!
And it has Vander Decken brandishing his axe as he's preparing to kill Shirahoshi. How dare you threaten the princess! Sorry, guys. Don't take it personally, but get out of my way! And Luffy then uses Conquerors to knock out all of the fishmen around him. And then he jumps up in the air, still bound.
Luffy!
And then Luffy jumps up right next to Vander Decken.
Huh?
And Luffy destroys the coral. With his feet still bound, Luffy destroys the coral that Vander Decken was flying on.
Ah!
He's still tied up.
This is between Shirahoshi and me. Why are you butting in? So you're the one who brought Shirahoshi here. Huh?
And you're the guy who keeps throwing stuff at Wimpy. Gum.
I'll kill you both. I'll stack you like logs and chop you into 4 pieces.
And go ahead and try. And Luffy grabs Vander Decken. Well, he takes his legs. He doesn't grab Vander Decken. He takes his legs. Oh no, he wrapped his legs around Vander Decken when he says,
So you're the one who brought Shirahoshi here. Huh?
as the legs wrap around him.
I'll kill you both. I'll stack you like logs and chop you into 4 pieces.
Go ahead and try. Gum, Shed, Hammer! And Luffy slams Vander Decken directly into the ground. Full force. And then it's just silent. He beat Vander Decken.
Ugh. He's still moving, but now's our chance to get him.
Hey, Shark, get up.
Oh.
What happened to Sanji?
He turned his stone from joy, but he's conscious.
And Sanji's thoughts have now dissipated, so now he's back to normal now. Hurry up, Wimpy!
Okay, but please don't shout at me. It makes me nervous.
I think they hate us on this island. We have to get out of here.
Princess, why are you untying him?
I'm sorry, but I'll be back before dinner.
What?
Go, Shark! Princess Shirahoshi! And Shirahoshi is hanging on to Megalo. Yeah, and he's a little bit better off because she's not stuffed all the way in his mouth this time. But at least, she's not on the inside. So she's riding on a Megalo.
Out of my way, scum!
As Vander Decken gets up and he actually starts cutting up some of the fishermen in the back.
Don't.
I just saved the dogs from getting overfed.
Out of my way, scum!
And Vander Decken cuts through some fishermen again.
Don't let them get away! Waratsumi!
And the giant Waratsumi there is right there in front of Shirahoshi and everyone.
It's the giant monk! Crush them!
Gum.
Right! Here I go!
Jet pistol! And Luffy hits Waratsumi directly in the face.
Ah! My tooth! He broke my tooth! That useless idiot!
Let's go, Wimpy, to the force of the sea.
Right.
Ryugu Palace. Captain Hody! A pirate and the mermaid escaped from Ryugu Palace.
Let them go.
And it's Nami and Kami.
Nami-chan, are you sure you want to leave Zolo-chan and the others there? You can't carry all of us. I guess not.
It's okay. They'll always be fine in the end.
I know they're all strong, but Hachin said Hody is strong too, and has dangerous ideas. Never mind that, Kami. Tell me about this Jimbei. What? Big Boss Jimbei is a pirate, but he's trustworthy enough to be allowed into Ryugu Palace whenever he wants.
But wasn't he one of Arlong's pirates? Hody's supposed to be Arlong's successor.
Jimbei left a message for Luffy telling him not to fight Hody. I think I now know why.
What? Isn't it because he's dangerous? I hope Zoro and the guys don't make Hody mad. Anyway, I want to meet Jimbei.
He said he'd be waiting at the Forest of the Sea, right? The cause of this incident runs deep. I think he knows what's behind it.
Kami, take me to the Forest of the Sea.
Inside Ryugu Palace. Hear me, my soldiers.
Yes, your majesty. We will destroy Hody and his band right away.
No, as I'm unable to fight right now, you would only die in vain. We must surrender the palace at once and reunite with Fukaboshi and the others before returning.
Surrender the palace? Are you serious, your majesty?
How can Zoro think he can fight a fishman in the water?
Usopp, I think I'm done for.
As it shows Zoro having already dealt a big, massive cut to Hody Jones underwater.
Captain Hody!
And that's the end of chapter 618. Your boy will knock you out in a minute with right, left. You're toothless. Makes say, man, he's ruthless. Had to clean up a little. Vander Decken is the Fishman version of Robert John Bardo. But we got an SBS. Orochi, I have a favor to ask. Please draw the 7 Warlords of the Sea who gave Luffy and Whitebeard so much trouble during the Paramount War 2 years ago, when they were children. Sign, Yutaka Harada. Answer, sure. Now, what do you suppose they'll be doing in 2 years? Here are the 7 Warlords of the Sea before the war 2 years ago. And if you watch One Piece Film Z, at the end credits of the movie, you see, like, animated versions of the Warlords when they were younger. So with Jimbei, he's in a training gi, and he's much younger here. Mihawk, scruffs all over his face, training with a sword. We got Gecko Moria, that's messing with like a doll and stitching it together in different places. We got Boa Hancock when she was a child. We have Crocodile, former 7 Warlord of the Sea, with a pistol at his side, missing the scar that you would see on the front of his face. We got Bartholomew Kuma, who's reading a book while carrying a bundle of sticks. And he's got like a shaved haircut. We got Don Quixote do Flamingo, who's sitting in this chair with like rucksack-looking clothes, and he still has shades even back then. And then we have Marshall D. Teach as a young child, crying in the night for reasons unknown. Chapter 619, At the Forest of the Sea, Decks of the World, Volume 6. Grand opening in Orangetown of the giant pet food shop Chocho. And Chocho's there along with the mayor of Orangetown, and they've pretty much rebuilt the entire pet food shop that was destroyed by Buggy and his crew. And Hody has been cut by Zoro.
Captain! How can a human move faster than a fishman underwater?
Who is he?
Men, don't let that swordsman get away! Take your energy steroids!
Oi! And they all just swallow energy steroids to get powered up.
What is this rage I sense?
And then Zoro gets to the surface. Gave Whitebeard trouble? Yeah, Whitebeard trouble is a bit of a stretch. But Zoro surfaces because, he can't breathe underwater.
I must get the soldiers out of the palace. One-eyed swordsman. The palace will soon be inundated. Grab onto me.
Over here, Zoro!
As Usopp is holding on to the beard of Neptune.
Now everything depends on my bad back. I'll create a path. Escape the palace, my soldiers. Merman combat!
And Neptune starts grabbing the water the same way Jimbei did during the escape of Impel Down. He starts grabbing the water and holding on to it.
Neptune's up to something! What's that?
Ultramarine!
And with his large stature and all his strength, he sends this giant torrent of water hurtling towards the new Fishman pirates, and all of them get caught up.
Hurry, my soldiers!
Yes, your majesty. They're running without even fighting. Captain Hody, hurry!
And welcome back, Nicole. And one of the fishmen takes an energy steroid and throws it into the mouth of Hody, because Hody is kind of like out of it right now. But you're superior being, right, Hody? Ain't that funny?
We're the superior race.
Immediately fights Zoro the first time and almost dies.
We're out of the palace. Go through the connecting passageway to Fishman Island. Hey, mister, you have to pull yourself together.
I can't defeat old age. My body won't move.
What? Your majesty!
King Neptune! And it shows Hody, who starts moving again. And then Neptune's whale Hole goes, "Rrrr."
Thank you. You saved me.
Ow, ow, ow!
Ow, ow, ow!
And Zoro's holding on as well.
I can't breathe.
But then all of a sudden, Neptune can no longer move because someone's holding on to him. And then he gets yanked back, and it's Hody. And it's Hody Jones who's holding back Neptune.
Your majesty! Hody should be out cold!
Keep going! Send my sons to me!
Hurry up! Do as his majesty commands!
Yes, sir!
I'm sorry. I will not let them die.
Hey, whose skeleton is this?
As Zoro's having a hard time keeping the air within him. The Forest of the Sea. Wow, this place is nice!
Thank you so much, Luffy. I've always wanted to see it. This will be a good place to treat Sanji.
Who's still unconscious. Hey, it's Sunny!
Frankie! There you are!
Hey, is that you, Luffy? Huh? Who's that gorgeous babe with you?
Let me introduce you. This is Wimpy.
Wimpy, huh? You better pull yourself together, honey.
I'm sorry. Actually, my name is Shirahoshi.
Robin was just here. She headed for that big grove of coral. She's looking for something.
No.
Luffy! I almost didn't recognize you.
Jimbei? It's really you, Jimbei! They said you were gone. I was afraid I wouldn't get to see you.
What? Didn't you get my message?
Big Boss Jimbei.
Oh, Princess Shirahoshi is with you. It's good to see you again, Princess Shirahoshi! What are you doing here?
Hey,
Frankie, I'm gonna let Hachi down. Catch him for me, okay?
Hey, it's the octopus guy. What happened to you?
Hachi! Are you hurt? Wait, what are you doing on Fishman Island? I thought you were captured with Arlong. Jimbei?
Oh, my mermaid princess! My heart's pale before.
The magnificence of your beauty. Your shimmering radiance beggars the powers of my pigments, and canvas cannot bear the weight of your pulchritude.
some of these words I've never even heard of. What is pulchritude? What is pulchritude?
He's himself again! That's his normal reaction to women! Sanji's back to his usual weird self!
What is Princess Shirahoshi doing here? Who are you? Why are you aboard Sunny?
He's my teacher Tom's little brother. His name is Den.
Princess!
He's coding our ship.
Oh, so he's the teacher who's coding your little brother.
Something like that.
How did he mess up that whole sentence? He's my teacher's little brother who's coding our ship. Oh, he's your teacher who's coding his little brother. How did you
Princess Shirahoshi, I know why you've come here, but you mustn't leave the shell tower.
Hey!
And Luffy jumps up right behind Shirahoshi to knock away an axe a rose axe, if you will, because it belongs to Vander Decken. There it is again. How long is he gonna keep heaving those things?
I was afraid of this. Why did you bring the princess here, Luffy?
It'll be fine. I'm with you, right?
Right.
Not one to worry much, eh?
Then time passes. So that's the grave she was talking about. She's been gone for a long time.
Her mother, Queen Otohime, sleeps in that tomb. The princess fell victim to Vander Decken at the worst possible time. She was unable to attend her own mother's funeral and spent the last 10 years in Shell Tower. She'll have much to say after so many years.
Luffy! Hey, Princess Shirahoshi is with them.
As Nami and Kami get to the forest as well. Hey, Nami! Has the feast started yet? Nami!
He's scared.
Is that true? Hody did that?
I didn't
realize Ryugu Palace was in danger.
What happened to Zoro and the others?
I don't know. I came here hoping to find you. Father's been captured. I don't believe it. What happened, Hachi?
I'm sorry. You've already been troubled enough. There's little time, but there is something I must tell you. I was very grateful to those who put a stop to Arlong's rampage on the East Blue. It was you, wasn't it? Thank you. But now you must allow me to apologize.
Jimbei!
11 years ago, the one who released Arlong into the East Blue was I.
And that's the end of chapter 620. We still got a ways to go before we're done. We are nowhere near done. We got an SBS, and then we can move on to, that was the end of chapter 619. Onwards is chapter 620. We got an SBS before we move on to the next one. I just realized something. If a fishman's fin split in two after 30 years old, that means that King Neptune, that hairy guy, that sea knight who only has one fin, is in his 20s. So if you have any excuses, I'd like to hear them, Odachi, captain of the Tsuchinoko gathering crew. Answer. Well, this isn't an excuse, I just haven't explained it. Neptune is supposed to be like that. I guess the explanation in the story wasn't very good. It's only the female merfolk whose fins split to allow them to walk on land. If you take a look around Fishman Island, you'll see that none of the mermen have fins split in two, even those who are obviously over 30. The important thing is most mermaids who are in their 40s and 50s are living on land. Because I only wanted to draw young and beautiful mermaids in Mermaid Cove, I have my own dream too because I'm a mangaka. This is the kind of a thing a man dreams of. Hey, nice to meet you, Odachi. I'm 12 years old, and I love Mr. Tubon Clay. The mermaids in Volume 62 are really cute. Speaking of which, do mermaids poop? Signed, I love Bakuman. Answer, you just shut up. Just think about the way this is going to flow, okay? I just got finished saying that mermaids are what men dream of. I mean, they're living beings, so I guess they do poop. I guess that some of their scales flip up, maybe in the back or maybe in the front, and they... Ah! Stop! Sanji? Another word and I'll fillet you. Mermaids don't crap. You got that? Okay, they don't. Chapter 620, The Wonderful Amusement Park. Decks of the New World, Volume 7. A newcomer to the Island of Rare Animals, Barrel Woman Sarfunkel. Which is the same island with the strange creatures as Gaiman. And this is a play on words of Gaiman and Sarfunkel is a play on words of the musical group Simon and Garfunkel, if you didn't already know. The connecting passageway below Ryugu Palace. And the soldiers fall out of the palace, and then they hit, like, bubbly coral. They hit some, like, small pieces of coral, which causes bubbles to erupt underneath them, like, inflate underneath them, and they fall onto it as they look back up at the palace.
How could this happen? What kind of people abandon their own king in his palace?
Save it for later. This is the king's order. We need a way to relay the message. We have to contact the princess and gather our forces to return to Ryugu Palace.
Yes, sir. The closest city is Fishville Hills.
Fishville Hills, wealthy area, Fishman Island.
Do as I say, Moochie.
As it cuts to Hody's execs, who are wreaking havoc in the streets.
Stop! Aren't you from the Fishman district? Why are you doing this?
Shut up. Gee, shut up, this kingdom belongs to Captain Hody, now he. Now step on this picture.
Candy Factory Town, Northwest Fishman Island.
Stop! I can't step on it!
Do it now.
Not on her face!
If you can't step on that face, then you want to be friends with the humans! And that makes you our enemy!
The Fish Cultural Center, Southwest Fishman Island. Simple, right? Just step on that picture or leave this silent. Now do it. If you don't do either, I'm supposed to cut you down.
What? But...
Marine Shopping Mall, West Fishman Island.
You want us to leave our home? But there's no light anywhere else in the deep sea. And we can't live among the humans either.
See? You already know they're a menace. Peace between humans and fishmen is a fantasy. Just shut up and bow before your new King Hody. We will conquer the humans and change history. Because we all know how good history changes when you try and force change through genocide. We all know how good that went. We had 2 world wars that prove otherwise! Waterwheel Town, North Fishman Island. Don't interfere. Dosan! And it's Fukaboshi who's beating up Dosan.
Prince Fukaboshi!
Your Highness!
Dosan.
What's the meaning of this? How dare you make the people of this country step on a photograph of our late mother? Coral Hill, Southeast Fishman Island.
We let Vander Decken escape, and Princess Shirahoshi was carried off by Straw Hat right before our eyes. But the princess said she'd be back before dinner. They forced her to say that.
What if they sell the princess to the Celestial Dragons?
Hey, there are people from the Fishman District wreaking havoc all over town. What happened to Ryugu Palace? What's to become of our island?
Ooh. I saw that gigantic mermaid. A human-sized mermaid fetches 70 million, and that mermaid princess is at least 7 or 8 times bigger. Just thinking about the prize she'd bring gives me goosebumps. And Caribou is just out there seeing all this insanity happen, and he sees his next payday. The Forest of the Sea.
It will be all right, Princess Shirahoshi. They can't do anything to the king yet.
What? Is that true?
Yes, I'd like some time to speak with Luffy. I will save your father.
Please do!
My beautiful ladies! And it's Sanji who's spinning around with drinks for everybody, including a very big cup for Shirahoshi. Have some tea!
Thanks, just put it down, Sanji. We're talking serious stuff right now. So straighten up!
I love it when you're stern.
Jimbei, what do you mean you let Arlong loose in the East Blue?
Jimbei.
It's true. Yeah, I heard that too.
Huh?
That what Yosaku told me. What Saku told Luffy and me the first time we heard of Jimbei. In exchange for becoming one of the 7 Warlords, Jimbei released a holy terror into the East Blue. That was the first mention of Jimbei all the way back. Before we even went to Arlong Park. All the way back. And the fact that I can remember reading it. The memories. I'm so glad I read that chapter. That's what Yosaku told me. Told Luffy and me the first time we heard Jimbei. In exchange for becoming one of the 7 Warlords, Jimbei released a holy terror into the East Blue. Knowing you probably forgot. All right. I wonder how Yosaku's doing now. I saw in the paper that you were with Jimbei 2 years ago, and a huge question mark popped in my head. I always thought Jimbei was the mastermind behind Arlong. Jimbei, if you want to give us your explanation, we'll listen, but be warned. The home of our beautiful navigator Nami was destroyed by Arlong. She suffered terribly because of him. Based on what you say, I may never forgive you. And this is Sanji saying this.
It's true, Jimbei. The anguish we caused that girl is unforgivable.
And Nami, as she recounts memories of Belmare.
A map of the world? That's wonderful. Then this map of our island is the first step towards your dream.
Hello, human scum! This island is under our rule now!
Die for your foolish love.
And this is when Arlong shot Belmare. And then we see the ruins. We see the ruins of Cocoa Village. And it's like quiet. It's quiet. It's devoid of people. And all the buildings are smashed in one way or the other.
No food for you, human! Ha 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 ha! Shut up and draw those nautical charts!
And then Nami, as a child, is forced to draw charts, crying over this servitude. A thief! Our treasure's been stolen!
It's a girl! Who cares? Shoot her dead! Kill that brat!
Only 70 million to go.
You're back. You're back. But then you have nowhere else to go. Welcome home, great navigator. Sha! It seems you've endured a great deal. Is that all you have to say?
Goes Sanji.
Yes. After all this time, I still wouldn't pity Arlong no matter what happened to him. But before I got to the Sabaody archipelago 2 years ago, I never knew the mighty Fishman had been persecuted by humans. Then those kidnappers caught Kami. I could hardly believe my eyes when I saw Sabaody Park. It was exactly like the Arlong Park that Arlong built.
Oh, wow. I never noticed that. Arlong Park is patterned after Sabaody Park. How did I not notice? There's a lot of things I don't notice.
He always admired it.
He always admired it. I'm not saying this because I want you to forgive me, Nami. Arlong really hated humans. We went way too far. But when we were children, we envied the humans and how they lived. Until 200 years ago, fishmen and mermaids were categorized as fish rather than people. When the kingdom of Ryugu joined the world government 200 years ago, we made peace with the humans, and the king was allowed to join the Reverie World Council. But the humans continued to hate fishmen. Worst of all was when the Great Age of Pirates began. Human pirates wreaked havoc on this island. I remember it like it was yesterday. The late Whitebeard was our savior.
This island belongs to me now.
He restored peace to the island.
And then Jimbei speaks up.
But that doesn't mean the humans stop hating us. You all saw our true status on the Sabaody archipelago.
You...
It's almost ironic. Those with the greatest power fear the most. Fear change the most. The core of the government decided to join hands with the fishmen. But under the surface, the roots of their racism still run deep.
Yeah, still present here too, unfortunately.
On Fishman Island, 2 people tried to change the tragic course of history. One of them was Princess Otohime. She tried to convince the citizens to live in peace with the humans. She was Shirahoshi's mother. And the other was Fisher Tiger, the hero who freed the slaves. He insisted on setting himself apart from humans. He rose up and broke the great taboo by attacking Sacred Marishwa all by himself and freeing the slaves.
Huh? Something Tiger? I heard that name somewhere before. Because it's the same Tiger that helped free Hancock, Sandersonia, and Marigold. Luffy just forgot.
Afterwards, he took the fishmen who had been slaves and formed the Sun Pirates. Arlong and Hachi and I were among their ranks. But having defied the government, the fishmen pirates hindered Queen Otohime's efforts to unite the humans. While Queen Otohime endured the pains of the present to make a better and brighter future, Fisher Tiger threw away his future to save his enslaved brethren. I'm not sure which one of them was right, but...
Enemy ship ahead!
Enemy ship ahead!
The Grand Line, 15 years ago.
Captain! Captain! I see an enemy ship! Captain! Captain! Captain!
Shut up, Hachi! Why all the noise?
And we cut to...
Captain Tiger! We got trouble!
Sun Pirates, Captain's Stateroom, as we have many people that would be part of Arlong's crew, such as Chu and Korubi. And we have Jimbei there as well. We have a lot. Ooh, I recognize one of these guys. We have a lot of recognizable fishmen who are here, and Arlong is here as well, and he's wearing like a big old bowler hat. Never took Arlong as a bowler hat type of individual.
Is it the Navy?
Fisher Tiger, Captain Seabream Fishman, the man who saved Empress Hancock. And that's the end of chapter 620. We got another SBS, so we can move on to chapter 621. Question! Odachi, good morning. Can I ask a question? The people running in this picture, are they Hancock and Company from the opposite angle? If you answer my question, I'll give you my autograph. Sign, Gonj the Barber. Answer, I don't want your autograph. But I can only say that was a marvelous deduction. I'm impressed by how hard you look at everything. You're exactly right. The only thing I have to add is that I don't need your autograph. Question. Sensei, we got a problem. Apparently you and I are the only ones in the whole world wearing women's underwear on their heads right now. Sign, Mashu. This must be a Japanese joke thing, because some of these things is all like, why would you do that? Why would you do any of that? That's just me. Me and as an American is all like, okay. What? You've got to be kidding. You're not kidding, right? You're not kidding, right? Huh. Come to think of it, when I was in middle school, everyone just wore school hats. Come to think of it, I get picked up by the police a lot, but only because I'm not wearing clothes, so, oh well, I gotta look to the bright side. Positive thinking. But I'm pretty sure that guy wears underwear on his head. In the next volume, Brooks' voice actor Cho will make his appearance as the last of the voice actors SBS. Look forward to it. Chapter 261, Otohime and Tiger. Decks of the World, Volume 8, Syrup Village. And we got the members of Usopp's Pirates, you know, a little bit older. As they're reading the paper, which pretty much shows that the Straw Hats have returned. We now go back in time. Fishman Island, 16 years ago.
We have a thief! Somebody catch him! He stole my money!
Out of my way.
I got a gun and a hostage too!
Your Majesty! Please wait! You mustn't involve yourself in such matters. This is our job! Queen Otohime! Wait!
Who's that? I warned you!
And this person who's stealing shoots at apparently Princess Queen Otohime. And the citizens scream, but Otohime dodges all the shots. What? And then proceeds to slap this thief in the face with enough force to cause him to draw blood.
Ah! My hand!
You're injured? Doctor!
Queen Otohime, King Neptune's wife, goldfish mermaid. You have a compound fracture.
I don't care.
Queen Otohime! Queen Otohime!
The Queen?
Why would you do something as senseless as robbery?
Shut up! You royals wallow in luxury. What do you know about the hardships of life? I got 10 kids to feed.
Get a better job.
That's all the more reason!
That's all the more reason!
And then Queen Otohime proceeds to slap the taste out of this dude repeatedly over and over and over and over again.
Your Majesty!
As we see the minister of the left, well, the minister of the right.
Your Majesty! Please stop! Your body is much weaker than the average person's!
I don't care. This is for him, even if my hand shatters. Do you think your children want to be raised on stolen money? You mustn't force your children to live a life of shame. But I owe you an apology, too.
I'm sorry. You are my subject and I failed to notice your pain. The cry for help from your heart cuts deep inside me. Oh, you must have suffered dreadfully to be driven to this.
I didn't want to do it. And the man just starts bawling in front of Otohime. Otohime's crying, and then the man is all like... he just starts crying too.
But I had no choice. My shop burned down. It was arson. My money was stolen. There weren't any jobs.
Oh, that explains why... That explains. Okay, so my comment about him getting a better job to provide for his kids, there weren't any other jobs. I now rescind my statement.
There weren't any jobs. My debts kept piling up and my kids were hungry. I couldn't bear to see them like that.
But you can't steal.
As Otohime proceeds to slap him once again.
If you do, you're part of the vicious cycle, the chain of misfortune and wrongdoing.
I'm sorry.
But I'm sorry. It's our fault as your leaders for failing you.
I don't deserve so much compassion. Really?
I've had a change of heart. Thank you for crying for me, Your Majesty. The dude's face that looked so downtrodden and just forlorn and just far gone is like he looked like he was full of desperation. He's all like, thank you for caring about me, Your Majesty. He like shivered up like real quick. I've had a change of heart. Thank you for crying for me, Your Majesty.
You're welcome. Take care.
It's already unprecedented for a member of the royal family to leave Ryugu Palace and mingle with the common folk.
But this one cries for individual subjects and slaps them.
Queen Otohime is extraordinary. There's no other queen like her.
She's the embodiment of love. All the children love her.
Otohime! You have snot dripping from your nose. For your own sake, I will hit you.
And Otohime slaps a kid that's running at her with snot all over his face.
You look like a fool with only one nostril running. If you're going to have a runny nose, do it right. Queen Otohime!
How touching. Really?
Queen Otohime, the passionate embodiment of love, called out to her citizens every day.
We will move the kingdom of Ryugu to the surface. Their skin is a different color. They look different. We can't wait for the humans who say those things to come around. We must go to them!
She really likes to smack people, even though she's weaker than the average person, and she literally gave herself a compound fracture after slapping a guy once. So her constitution is not that great, but her ability to perceive things quickly is another.
We must go to them. 30,000 feet of misunderstanding separates us from them. Bear this in mind. The humans who do come to this island are of the pirate variety. The humans who buy merfolk from the kidnappers are the powerful called the aristocrats. We have only come into contact with a very small group of humans. We still know very little about them. We must move this kingdom to the surface, to a place in the sun. During the reverie, which will be held this year, we must announce our desire to emigrate. I need each and every citizen to sign the petition.
Well, I know I should, but...
It's no use. History has already given us the answer.
And this is when Jimbei is apparently sitting with the guards of the army. And he looks like he's dressed up just like them. And then we have a baby crying.
I'm home, my children.
Welcome home, Mother.
And it's a baby Shirahoshi, who's already massive and eclipses the size of Otohime. So I'm not even gonna think about how that worked.
Oh, Shirahoshi, you always bring me some peace of mind. I'm sorry I'm late. Oh, only one side of your nose is running, but you're still adorable.
We were looking after her. You don't have to worry, Mother.
Yeah! Mother, your hand! Are you alright?
Thank you, my princess. Thank you, my princess.
Not princess, but
Thank you, my princess. I'm going to forge a bright future for you.
Queen Otohime should just use the transmitters for her speeches.
It's her natural color of observation hockey power. Otohime insists on being close enough that her voice can touch people's hearts. Not even I can stop her.
So, just to let you know, her ability to dodge the bullet shot from the robber is her using observation hockey to basically dodge them.
Otohime insists on being close enough that her voice can touch people's hearts. Not even I can stop her.
But there are human pirates on our island right now. We may be protected by your Majesty's friend Whitebeard, but we must still take precautions.
She is prepared for anything. Minister of the Left, the world Otohime dreams of is exactly like the one our forebears sought to create centuries ago. She is trying to achieve what they did.
What do you mean?
I can't stop Otohime, so you must protect her.
One day.
Give her back! How many petitions do you need?
All of them! Sure! What good will these pieces of paper do you?
Hey, stop that! Aren't you Arlong from the Fishman District?
What? What? Not exactly.
As Arlong holds this guard by the throat.
I'm Captain Arlong of the Arlong Pirates.
Arlong, age 25, captain of the Arlong Pirates, Saw Shark Fishman.
I make my living feeding off that inferior race that can't even breathe underwater. I'm hunting down those pirates for you. The Neptune army should give me a reward.
And then Jimbei's in the background.
Big Boss Jimbei, please don't just sit there. Help!
Jimbei? Let go of that fresh recruit, hoodlum. He's one of my men. The petitions mean nothing to me, but they're dear to the Queen, so hand them over.
Jimbei, age 30, Neptune Army soldier, whale shark. Neptune Army soldier, whale shark fishman.
It's Big Boss Jimbei of the Neptune Army. We're saved.
Shah! Big Boss, that's a nice title. You don't see a soldier like you every day. You look like you belong in the Mafia. Do as I say, Arlong. Fine, here. Don't get upset, brother. It's been a long time, but we're all orphan brothers from the Fishman District. We're comrades. I'm nothing like you, pirate scum. Don't call me that, brother. How about waste?
Hey, the adventure of Fisher Tiger is back!
Big Brother Tiger is back?
Big brother?
And both Arlong and Jimbei get immediately happy that Fisher Tiger has returned. You even see like a genuine happy smile on Arlong's face, with no hint of malice in it. Like the other times we see Arlong, it's just straight malice and evil. But here it's all like, Big Bro's back? Like, or genuine happiness. Jimbei, Arlong, you two look well. That is not the voice I'm gonna use for Fisher Tiger. Jimbei, Arlong, you two look well.
It's Tiger. Tell us about your adventures.
This voyage was a long one. Aye, and eventful. I have some business at Ryugu Palace. You need to come by my ship later.
You need to come by my ship later,
goes Arlong, who's eclipsed by Fisher Tiger's immense size. The Fishman District began as a giant orphanage, but it soon fell into chaos, and the managers of the orphanage lost control. It became a lawless area where outcasts from all around Fishman Island gathered. At the time, Fisher Tiger was the boss of the Fishman District, but he soon sailed off in search of adventure. Jimbei was his second in command. He became one of the king's elite soldiers. Arlong was the fiercest of the orphans. He became a pirate and terrorized the seafloor. Macro became a cheat and a kidnapper. They all went their separate ways. But a major incident occurred that made everyone wonder.
Tiger defeated the Celestial Dragons!
It was Fisher Tiger's raid on sacred Marijois. After that, he was hailed as the hero who freed the slaves and reviled as the greatest criminal in the world. With the world government after Fisher Tiger's head, the citizens of the Fishman District rose up to protect him.
I'm resigning from the army as of today.
Come on, men!
So that the liberated slaves might blend in more easily, everyone received the sun brand that covered the brands of the slaves. And thus the Sun Pirates of the Fishman were formed. Because it shows the seal of the Celestial Dragons, which is a circle with 3 triangles on top and 1 on the bottom. The new seal of the Sun Pirates basically gets rid and covers up those 3 prongs, those 4 different prongs on the circle with the, flare of a sun, so that it's literally impossible for them to tell who's a slave and who is not. And thus the Sun Pirates of the Fishmen were formed. Warships of the Navy.
Take Tiger's head!
Warships of the Navy kept attacking and were sunk one after another.
Hold it right there, brother! He's already unconscious!
It's legal to own slaves, but freeing them is a crime. How can you still tell us to love humans, Queen Otohime?
And
this is terrible!
The onslaught of the Sun Pirates continued, and it shows Fisher Tiger, Arlong, Jimbei, the people that would follow Arlong later, and Macro and the kidnappers that would try to, kidnap Kami and kidnap Kami during like the cover stories. And that's the end of chapter 621. Onwards to 622. How much further do I got? 625, 626. So we got 4 more chapters after this one. 626 is the last one. Chapter 622, The Sun Pirates. Fishman Island.
He showed up the celestial dragons. Nobody ever did that before.
Fisher Tiger is the hero of Fishman Island. Ryugu Palace. Did he really do it? You want to free the slaves? I can't stand it. Being a slave is a living hell. It's not right to treat people like chattel. I've made up my mind. And this is Fisher Tiger, who was speaking to Neptune earlier on, because remember, he said he had to go there. Can't believe Macro gets his panel with them like they're equals. It's funny, isn't it? Ain't it funny? Ain't it funny how Macro, which is just some run-of-the-mill kidnapper with no major strength whatsoever, who got beaten up not only by Hachi, but... And they put him in the same space as like people like Chu and Karubi. It's hilarious to say the least. What did you see on your last journey? Human nature, goes Fisher Tiger. And Otohime just starts crying. The status of Fishman Island is even worse than before. We will not be able to attend the revelry.
But even I could not stop him that day. The voice I heard inside his heart was full of pain.
And Otohime is just there, and she kisses Shirahoshi on the cheek. You know, the still small baby Shirahoshi.
Let us live in peace with humans. We must go to the surface and live in the sun. You there, sign the petition.
I can't, Queen Otohime. The whole island is in awe of Tiger's feat. This incident symbolizes our separation from humans. The humans are at fault, so we just can't sign it right now.
It doesn't have to be now. It can be in 7 years, 11 years, even 15 years. Please sign the petition so our nation can one day join in the revelry again.
The Fishman District.
Fisher Tiger is the greatest. He used to be the boss around here. He saved a lot of fishmen.
And this is a young...
It says the celestial dragons are angry. The celestial dragons!
A young Hody Jones, great white shark fishman, age 15.
He beat up those annoying humans.
Zio.
Arlong always said humans were trash!
Daruma.
They're all inferior.
The Sun Pirates are sailing all over the ocean beating up humans. Dosen! They're amazing! Dosen!
Young Dosen.
We've gotta go. We could have gone with them if we were stronger, Ichi.
Ikaros much.
Get 'em, Sun Pirates! Kill all the humans! Ja!
It's like putting Foxy next to Aokiji and Rob Lucci. Exactly. You don't put the gag characters in the same space as a powerful character, and then make them, because it just gives this idea. You know what? Buggy's been put in the same situations as well. Let me stop. The Grand Line.
Blast them! But if they submerge, we can't do anything.
And Arlong is beating up some Navy. Karubi is beating up some Navy. And even Jimbei is beating up some Navy as well. And then Chu shoots another Navy with his, his water gun. Like his mouth water gun, he shoots straight through another Navy soldier.
Blast you, fishmen! Hand over those slaves! Maybe then your crimes will be... Rear Admiral! They're attacking our hull from below!
And Hachi is in this group as well. Or like putting Zezumi in the same... putting Nezumi in the same category as Garp and Sengoku. Yeah, exactly like that. But Hachi's in this... Hachi is here, and so is Macro. And he's actually doing a little work, but not to the degree of everyone else.
No!
Mo! That's the first time I've ever seen that laugh in this series. I never heard that at all. Slaves! What proof do you have there are slaves on this ship? As Tiger kicks the Rear Admiral in the face. Go ahead and check us all. All former slaves have a brand somewhere on their bodies. Do you see any here? Men, take all their treasure and food and return to the ship.
Aye, aye!
And then it shows the rear admiral looking into the water. Relax, I'm letting you go. And the fishmen are all underneath the ship because they're circling it.
You'll die for that! Human, your very existence is a sin.
And Arlong is licking his lips while holding his shark tooth weapon. Arlong, wait! Navy Headquarters, Marineford. Vice Admiral Borsellino, Rear Admiral Kadar from G2 branch has had his ship sunk. So that's his name, Rear Admiral Kadar. Why did they attack? I told them just to report on their whereabouts. By the time they got close enough to see them, they were surrounded from below the surface. Ooh, scary. They're certainly formidable at sea. And this is Kizaru at the time, wearing like a different suit, wearing like a big old 1940s hat, coat over his shoulders, speaking to, what is it? I want to call him Vice Admiral Strawberry, or is it Captain Strawberry? Because that's the name of the Navy dude with a very, very, very tall, like Kid and Play style afro that goes straight up, tall hairstyle that goes up. Ooh, scary. They're certainly formidable at sea. Which fishmen were they? The Arlong pirates who were active near Fishman Island have joined forces with Fisher Tiger. They always remained underwater before, so it was difficult to gauge their strength. We have also confirmed another identified fishman who's as big and as strong as Tiger himself. Well, that's a problem. Yeah, he's wearing a hat on his 10-foot hair, and his hair would get bigger. His hair would get bigger as the years went on, so it made me wonder, does he have someone get up on a ladder to put a hat on his head? Because ain't no way he's just throwing it into the air and it's just landing on his head. But we get back to the Sun Pirates. Looks like Humphrey Bogart, to a degree, because Kizaru at this time is also a smoker as well. He stopped smoking when he got older.
What's the big deal? So what if I kill one or two of that inferior race?
I told you not to kill any humans. You two always go too far. We're not a pack of murderers. Know when to stop.
But, Big Brother Captain, they're all after your head. They try to kill us, but we can't kill them. Of course we get a little bloodthirsty. If we kill, we lose. Do you want to become like them? Our mission is not to avenge the centuries of persecution. That's not what attacking Marijois was about. I break the unjust laws of this world, but only to free the oppressed. The Sun Pirates fight for freedom and liberty. Nothing more, nothing less. If we allow hate to drive us to avenge ourselves, it will only lead the humans to retaliate with even greater brutality. Innocent fishermen will suffer for our deeds. Do you understand? We will fight and rob those who attack us, but we must never cross that final line. We will never kill.
Ha! But I just wanted to make an example of them. Are you that afraid of their wrath? Then let's strike fear into their hearts. You need to be crueler. So cruel the humans cower at your very name. Then they won't dare to avenge themselves. They don't know yet how strong and ferocious we fishmen are. So let's burn a proper fear into their brains. And then Jimbei proceeds to, understandably, smack Arlong in the back of the head. Yeah! What was that for? Then we cut to night.
Jimbei, Queen Otohime's request is an idealistic dream. Does she see any difference between me and Arlong? The thing I fear most is the demon inside me.
Enemy raid! It's a pirate ship!
They want to make a name for themselves by destroying us. So we finally made the big time.
Go!
As the Sun Pirates attack, then it cuts back to Otohime.
Sign the petition! Sign the petition!
No, your majesty, we don't want to live with the humans.
Sign it!
Captain Tiger and Jimbei have bounties on their heads now. You humans are blind!
Excellent. Wanted posters.
As Hody Jones is still looking at all this stuff go on.
Sign it!
And Otohime is trying to get people to sign a petition still. 3 years later, 12 years ago, on a certain island.
You there. Do us a favor, please. This child escaped from Marijwa when you freed the slaves 3 years ago. But her home is very far away, and we're not good enough mariners to take her there.
Hi, I'm Koala. I'm 11 years old.
Thank you very much for what you did 3 years ago.
Thank you very much for what you did 3 years ago.
It's a human brat! This is too much! What's it doing on a ship with me?
It can't be helped.
And Koala is smiling.
Stop that infernal grinning! It's infuriating!
And then Arlong smacks Koala.
Arlong!
Arlong, she's only a child!
But he's right. She's always smiling. It's kind of creepy. And then Koala takes a piece of her own clothing and rips it off and wipes the deck of her own blood that's on there. And she just starts scrubbing immediately.
I'm sorry. I'll work hard for you. I'll clean and not rest until everything's done. So please don't hit me again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But there's this blank. There's this almost unearthly blank stare on her face.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What are you doing? Hey, you're bleeding.
I won't cry, no matter what. So please don't kill me.
And she's just still smiling with that same stare on her face.
Hey, stop that. Are you afraid of us?
Yes, but I want to see my mother, so I gathered my courage to come on this ship. If I stop working, you might kill me, right? But I'll make myself useful, so please don't kill me.
And she says this with a smile on her face. What was done to her? It makes you wonder what was done to this koala. Young girl koala, when she escaped from Marijwa, what was done to her while she was there? For her to literally snap back to this subservient mindset when stuff is done to her immediately.
Her slave training is too deeply ingrained. If a slave cries or stops working, they can be killed. Slaves live in constant fear for their lives.
So this is what happens at Marijwa to people who become slaves by celestial dragons. This is that indoctrination, that brainwashing, where you only live to serve them. Your life means nothing except for what they deem necessary. That is the celestial dragon's will. That is what happens to when you go to Marijwa. Period. And it's horrible. I remember watching this in the anime, and it was still hard for me to watch as well because I don't like to see I just don't like to see that sort of thing happen, and it's like I don't like to see the mistreatment of people. Period. I mean, my lineage comes from that in history, but I don't like to see that towards people at all. So it's like it's going to be a tough one for me to get through.
Captain!
Take this child to my cabin.
Captain, what are you doing in there?
And Koala is screaming. And apparently Koala was apparently Koala got burned by Fisher Tiger.
Bandage her up. It was a harsh cure, but she never would have gotten better with that brand there.
Oh, so he used his brand on the back of Koala. And then, after she's laying on the ground, that celestial dragon, that sacred Marijwa indoctrination kicks in quickly. Like, even though she was momentarily passed out, it kicks in quickly and she wakes back up.
Oh, I passed out. I'm sorry, but I didn't cry. So please don't kill me. No matter what you do to me, I'll never...
Cry if you want to cry. We're not like those idiotic celestial dragons.
Huh?
Look.
And then he takes his gun and throws it into the ocean.
We will never kill anybody. Let's go, men. We're taking her back to her home.
And then Koala realizes that she's no longer in a place that wants her dead at the slightest infraction. She's no longer in a place of pain and misery and slavery. She's actually free. And possibly for the first time in her life, she starts crying. She finally allows herself to cry and actually behave like a normal human being. That's the end of chapter 622. Onwards to 623. Fisher Tiger, the Pirate. Decks of the World, Volume 9, Syrup Village. Kaya, the medical student. And we have Mary, who is, defending Kaya from many suitors. A whole bunch of people want to get to Kaya, but Kaya's focused on her schoolwork. She's focused on her studies. We finally got the Eternal Compass for Koala's hometown.
Yay, Koala! You can finally go home!
Koala, former slave girl. And Koala looks so much better than she did before. When she was a slave, she had, rough clothes on. Her hair was massively unkept. But here, she's been cleaned up. She looks so much better.
Huh, people really can change.
This is a bit.
Come on!
Come on, we all pitched in to buy that for you, and we got you a haircut too. Now you'll look all ship-shape when your mother sees you.
I'd better clean up.
Hey, you gotta break yourself of working when you get nervous. You're not a Marijois anymore.
Let her do what she wants. It takes time for psychological traumas to heal.
Oh, right.
Aladdin, Ship Doctor, Sun Pirates, Brotula of Mermen, former Neptune Army soldier. So we got Aladdin here.
You seem to know a lot, Aladdin. Are you speaking from experience as a former slave? Tell me the truth. You'd like to kill her, right? She's no different from the human who owned you.
Why Arlong? Why you here? Trying to throw shade? Why you out here trying to sow some dissent? Why are you trying to be extra? Why are you extra? With your extra bowler hat. Why you extra?
She's no different from the human who owned you.
Stop it, Arlong.
Tell me what you're really thinking. What did your mama teach you about us? Your parents look down on us, fishmen, don't they? That's how it is in human society. They think they're better than everyone else, and their spawn adopt the ideas of their parents. Someone's got to crush them and break their pride.
Fisher Tiger, you literally have one of the worst people to ever have on your ship. If you're trying to keep this ideology of yours going, you literally have the worst person on there.
You've all seen for yourselves these past 3 years. You've felt the scorn of the humans' eyes. I don't know what I would have done to them if the captain here hadn't been around.
They don't all look down on us. Some seem different to me.
Huh?
Many humans seem to fear us.
Is it because we're pirates? Is that why they're afraid of us?
Is it because we're pirates? Is that why they're afraid of us?
And then Arlong was always prejudiced. He was always prejudiced. He was always a prejudiced racist against humans. But Jimbei sits down next to Koala and goes,
Is it because we're pirates? Is that why they're afraid of us?
Because they don't know anything.
And Koala is just grinning.
We still know very little about them.
Do you fear what you don't understand? Will things change if they get to know us?
That one.
Which one?
This one.
Wrong! It's this one!
And Koala is playing games with Hachi. While Jimbei just looks on in the distance. Then there's a big old massive montage with Koala traveling with the Sun Pirates. And, enjoying time with them. Everyone's eating, everyone's enjoying themselves, and Koala's sitting at the table with everybody. But you notice that Arlong is not seen anywhere when the Sun Pirates are actually enjoying themselves with Koala. They're nowhere to be seen. He's nowhere to be seen at all. And then they enjoy themselves. Until A few weeks later, at Fool Shout Island on the Grand Line. Koala, get off the ship. This is your home. Where's your village? I'll walk you there.
Don't go, Koala! Let's have more adventures together!
Macro and his soon-to-be later-in-life kidnapping crew are all crying because Koala's leaving.
You're a good kid, even if you are human!
Stop crying, goes Karubi, who's younger at this time. He's got like this big old afro, keeping his hair up before he decided to turn it into like a long braid.
I'll tell everyone in the village. Lots of fishmen are good people.
Take care!
Bye, Koala! And they leave. And then Fisher Tiger walks Koala through this area that's just full of giant cacti.
When she grows up, she'll be just like the other humans.
Arlong!
Arlong, you bastard!
Big brother Jimbei, you've changed in the last 3 years. Think about it. What good will it do for a single human in a secluded village to talk about how great we fishmen are? It's as futile as Otohime's efforts. It won't change anything.
See, you don't need a pessimist on your crew, especially if you're trying to make things better for your race, your fishman race. You don't need a pessimist who's like, this is never gonna work. Why are you even here? Why? But then we cut to the village, and they're all shocked as Koala says hi and she sees her family. But Fisher Tiger's on the outskirts. And he sees Koala's mother hold her, and Koala's crying, and Fisher Tiger he's smiling, but then that smile leaves as he sees that the other citizens are giving him very dirtied looks and uninviting stares. And Koala yells back at Fisher Tiger with tears in her eyes as she gets to cry and, enjoy these emotions. And then she says goodbye to him, and he waves. And he starts to leave, and they both say goodbye to each other. But then, all of a sudden, I am Rear Admiral Strawberry of Navy Headquarters. The people on a certain island told us that you'd be coming here. We've already obtained information from the village you just came from that there was a commotion. Although that was under the condition that we overlook the girl who is the property of the celestial dragons. Before he even gets too far from the village, Fisher Tiger is surrounded by the Navy. You are guilty of 2 crimes. You already know what they are. Assault and escape. And the guns are trained on Fisher Tiger, and the Sun Pirates hear gunshots over and over and over again.
What was that? What was that gunshot? It came from the way the captain went. Look out to sea.
The Navy's surrounding us.
It's a trap.
This is what humans do.
And there's an explosion that hits the Sun Pirate ship as a Navy warship pulls up right next to him.
Abandon the ship and deep dive. Captain Tiger's in danger,
goes Jimbei. And then there's more gunshots as apparently Fisher Tiger is being shot all over. Why won't he go down? Be careful. He attacked Marijwa all by himself. And before one of these soldiers can even catch their breath, Tiger comes up and literally hits him so hard that his gun is still airborne while the guy got launched in the other direction. You know how hard you got to hit someone, how hard and fast you got to hit someone to make them, not only for their gun to still be suspended in midair because you knocked them away that quickly?
Where's he getting such strength? Captain Tiger! Rear Admiral, it's the Sun Pirates!
So that's the infamous.
Curse you, Navy dogs! They got our ship. We'll have to take one of theirs! Aye, aye!
And all this commotion is happening, and everyone's celebrating in the village and being happy that Koala's back, and Koala's going,
Did you hear something, Mommy?
And the mom goes, no. So the mom is in on it. The mom is in on the fact that Fisher Tiger is getting shot at. They're in on it. They're all in on it. The whole looks of the citizens was because they knew the Navy was coming to get him, because they knew Fisher Tiger was going to come there. They all knew, so they tried not to make it too obvious that they didn't want him around. But Koala's still curious. The Sun Pirates were ambushed and their captain Tiger was grievously injured.
Captain!
However, they were able to steal one of the Navy's ships and escape out to sea. Pretty sure he was dead before he hit the ground too. Yeah. You don't get hit that hard by a fishman who is known to have assaulted Sacred Marijois all on his own and live to tell the tale. That's just not how it works, sonny. That's just not how it's done here in these parts.
Captain, what are you talking about?
You've lost too much blood. You'll die without a new transfusion. And this is both Hachi and Aladdin speaking. Yours... Oh wait, this is Jimbei and Aladdin as well.
You've lost too much blood. You'll die without a transfusion.
Yours is a rare blood type. No one else in the crew has it.
But the blood on this Navy ship is human blood.
That's right. Humans and fishmen have compatible blood. We can use human blood. We can save you.
But you need a transfusion, right?
No! I'd rather die than have their blood inside me! Their blood is unclean! It's the blood of our persecutors! I won't be indebted to them!
I won't accept any sympathy from them!
Captain, I will never yield to the humans!
And of course, seeing as how we have one individual who already sees humans less than nothing, this is a perfect trigger word for one Arlong.
I didn't want to tell you, but on my last journey...
This voyage was a long one.
What did you see on your last journey?
Human nature. Not long after I left on that journey, I was captured. I spent several years on Marijois.
What?
I was a slave!
And this is something that none of the Sun Pirates knew until just now. And Tiger, it's so hurtful for Tiger to bring it up that tears is all in his eyes. And mind you, he's still covered in blood, and he's refusing treatment to have blood transfusions right now.
What? There I witnessed the barbarity of the humans. I barely escaped with my life, but I couldn't bear to abandon the other slaves.
Captain!
Listen to me. I lived the life I wanted, and everything I did went against what Queen Otohime wanted to accomplish. She is right. Of course everyone wants peace. But we can never change this island. That's the job of youngsters like Koala who know nothing of the past. Please, don't say anything to the people of the island. Don't tell them of our tragedy, of our rage against the humans. There are plenty of compassionate humans in this world. I know that. It's foolish to die and leave only hatred as a legacy. I know that. But my reason is overpowered by the demon in my heart. My very flesh refuses their blood. I cannot love humans. Ever!
Don't say that, Captain. You can live.
Captain, no matter what you say, the slaves you freed owe you their lives. You are the hero of Fishman Island who performed that great deed.
That's good to hear.
If no one else wants to challenge me, I will be the boss of the Fishman District. I am Tiger. I'll protect my brothers of the Fishman District.
And with that final thought, as we see Fisher Tiger when he was much younger in a flashback, Fisher Tiger's his arm falls to the ground as Jimbei, Arlong, and Hachi and everyone on the ship cries their eyes out.
Captain!
So died the leader of the Sun Pirates, the great Fisher Tiger. Koala's hometown, Fool Shout Island.
Gah!
So you're Arlong. What are you doing back here? Are you stupid or something? And Arlong apparently went back to Koala's hometown, but he got caught by Kizaru at the time. Borsellino, Vice Admiral, Navy Headquarters, later Admiral Kizaru. And Arlong got messed up by Kizaru. Kizaru, Borsellino, Kizaru at this time, back then, messed him up completely without a single scratch on him. He had the Pika Pika no Mi at this time as well. because his finger is smoldering, and he only does that whenever he shoots somebody.
I'm going to kill all the humans who sold out Brother Tiger. I'm going back to that island that squealed on us. Fisher Tiger is dead. You people of the inferior race killed him.
He's dead? Well, be that as it may, you're coming with me. And that's the end of chapter 263. Onwards to chapter 264. Queen Otohime. Decks of the New World, Volume 10. Cocoa Village. The ship of brothers Yosaku and Johnny. And they're steadily, just doing their thing, just fishing and whatnot. Number 2, and it has Brothers of Cocoa Village Port. Great catch. And another flag that says number 2, bounty ship Yosaku and Johnny. And they're just catching fish. And they don't have like a newspaper talking about the Straw Hats or anything. Sorry, my nose is bothering me. It's weird. There's a piece of lint on my nose. Okay, I got it. With the death of Fisher Tiger, the hero who freed the slaves, Arlong, whose hatred of human beings now burned brighter than ever, was imprisoned. And it is Arlong who's in an interrogation room.
Had they not refused, he could have lived. If we had Fishman blood, Fisher Tiger would still be alive. You humans drove him to his death.
The Grand Line, Sun Pirates.
Humans refused to give blood, causing the death of the captain of the Sun Pirates, Fisher Tiger. It's not far wrong.
That's not what happened, but the humans still killed him.
Arlong lied to the Navy. The hero Tiger was betrayed by the humans. His hatred towards them made him refuse their blood. The truth was much more tragic. Tiger had been a slave.
And
Arlong lied to the Navy.
The hero Tiger was betrayed by the humans. His hatred towards them made him refuse their blood. The truth was much more tragic. Tiger had been a slave. That would have damaged his reputation.
Arlong would never have told them the truth.
Right.
You! Captain Jimbei! It's an enemy ship! The captain may be gone, but we can't turn back now. Prepare for battle! Kill no one!
Aye, aye!
The Sun Pirates, now led by Jimbei, the first son of the sea, continue their unending war. Navy Headquarters. The most dangerous one is Jimbei. His strength is mythic, as it shows Strawberry, who is bandaged up. And oddly enough, his entire head is bandaged up, including his hair. And I think I read somewhere that that's not all hair. That's actually Vice Admiral Strawberry's actual head. Like, his head goes up that far. I think I read somewhere from like years ago in an old SBS, I can't remember where, but I think it said something about Strawberry's head actually being that big. It's not just purely hair, it is head. Because his whole head all the way up is just bandaged, along with his neck. The most dangerous one is Jimbei. His strength is mythic. Ryugu Palace, Fishman Island.
At the very least, I wanted you to know the truth, so I took up a pen and wrote this. Jimbei, captain of the Sun Pirates.
And this is Neptune getting a letter from Jimbei.
I've made up my mind.
There was no other way for Tiger.
I finally understand the pain in his heart that day. I'll be all right. I will not fail.
Fishman Island.
Let us live under the sun. One day we will live in understanding with humankind. I need your signatures. Express your desire to emigrate right here.
I can't, Your Majesty. It's just not possible anymore. Tiger saved the slaves without regard for species, but the humans killed him anyway. How can we ever understand each other?
Ryugu Palace.
Not one person signed the petition today.
Mother, are you all right?
Princess Shirahoshi, age 4.
Are you all right? Are you all right?
You look tired.
You are my peace of mind.
As we see the older princess and princes all around Otohime.
It'll be fine. Let's promise to make a better future.
And they all pinky swear. Otohime struggled day after day to realize her dream.
Are you all right? Are you all right? More pirates! She organized rescue
operations for wrecked ships.
Let's take them to the island.
She taught the island's children about the surface world.
It's the place where you find lots of trees, remember? I told you about it yesterday. It's called a forest.
Forest? Like the forest of the sea?
She circulated petitions.
Wait!
She gave speeches on street corners.
Queen Otohime,
Oh, you're the ones who signed the petition.
we would like to make a request. How many signatures have you collected?
I began this petition over 5 years ago. Each petition sheet has 10 signatures, and there are 100 sheets, which means about 1,000 people have signed. The population of Fishman Island is 5 million, so I need a few more signatures.
I know this is very selfish of us, but we would like to take back about 50 of those sheets.
What?
So, right here, the citizens, it's all like, we can't let things go, so we want to take back the very thing that could help you. We want to take that back. They're guided by they're guided by old history and the inability to see the future. It's like their whole mindset is like, the humans did this to Fisher Tiger, so we can't forgive them. So therefore, we can't take in part of anything that would make us want to be at peace with the humans at all. So, you know, that's sort of like, we can't do it because of reasons.
My queen.
Queen Otohime!
Oh, hello, children. Would you like to talk about the surface?
You know that paper we signed the other day? My mom says...
I know I listened to you because you're our queen, but...
The problem lies with the humans.
And one after the other, more and more people go back to Otohime to take back her sheets, to take back her signature papers. Please, stop giving speeches. We've had enough.
I worked very hard today.
Welcome home, Mother!
I'm home, my little angels. Would you mind giving me some time to myself today?
And then Shirahoshi's like,
Huh?
but then Otohime's on her own, and she's just crying because it seems like every effort that she's done has failed. All the petitions that she's worked on for 5 years, people just went back and took them back. See, I can't go back in time, and I can't enter into the story to make people see reasons like, you taking back these signatures isn't going to make things better for yourself. You're just going to wallow in pity and sorrow. You rather just do that. But continuing on, she's crying, and Neptune is just there listening. And then someone screams,
They're all liars!
Queen Otohime, that was broadcast throughout the kingdom.
Shut up, minister!
Are you drunk?
I said shut up! I'm not drunk!
What's going on? Is that Queen Otohime's voice? Yes, you are!
Given that we can live anywhere in the water, of this vast, vast ocean and on the dark, dark seafloor, why did we choose this place to live? Isn't it because we enjoy a little light and air?
Queen Otohime.
The surface has even more light and an endless sky. Why do our children always sneak away to look at Sabaody Park? There are so many more wonderful places in the world. None of them should be off limits to us. Aren't we just making excuses so that we don't have to try?
She's right. She's drunk, but she's right.
Please, gather your courage and go after what you want most. If the humans force an obstacle to our dream, we should find a way to overcome it together.
My queen.
If we did that, we might change the destiny of the children of Fishman Island for the better.
And everyone is just listening to Otohime's speech. One day, and we see a bat flying away from the Sun Pirate ship. We've seen a bat fly into another person a long time ago, a while back.
Me? One of the 7 warlords of the sea?
Your bounty is now at 250 million berries, and there's no sign that you're slowing down. The government sees you as a huge threat. And now they acknowledge you. Just turn them down.
and make yourself even more infamous, Captain Jimbei.
No, I'm thinking about accepting this deal.
What?
Ryugu Palace.
Welcome back, Jimbei.
If I become one of the warlords of the sea, the government will pardon people like Aladdin, who never wanted to become pirates. They can stop being fugitives and live in here in peace. And on top of that, if I take...
In reality, she's telling her people to grow a set. Hey, that's the type of queen, that's the type of royalty I can get behind. Stop waiting for other people to make a better future for you. Take it. If there's an obstacle, overcome it. Because this is the only way that a bright future is going to move ahead. Not from the people who don't want it to happen, but from people who truly want it to happen and don't wait around for someone else to tell them that it needs to happen.
If I become one of the warlords of the sea, the government will pardon people like Aladdin who never wanted to become pirates. They can stop being fugitives and live here in peace. And on top of that, if I take this position, it will bring us fishmen even closer to the world government. That might make up to the queen a little for the way we've sabotaged her.
That would be wonderful. Things are hard for her right now.
Perhaps that is the late tiger's wish.
Perhaps that is the late tiger's wish too.
I'm starting to realize that I'm making Neptune's voice sound the way that the king, what is this, Dorfin or Dorfa from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdoms. This is the same voice I gave to him when I would read out his lines too.
But this pardon also presents a slight problem.
And Hody is just looking at this, and a slight smile creeps up on his face when Jimbei talks about a slight problem.
Arlong of the Sun Pirates is released.
I heard you're one of the 7 warlords of the sea now, brother Jimbei. You've become the dog of the human government! Did you forget the words of Brother Tiger?
Did you forget the words of Brother Tiger Arlong? Don't live for hatred or revenge.
You've gone soft, and at this rate so will I. Being your underling will probably put me in the safe zone, but that's not for me. Our big brother is dead. I'm starting up the Arlong pirates again, and I'm taking my men with me. It's time to say goodbye. If you want to stop me, you'd better kill me right now!
Arlong! Because first, Jimbei had Arlong released from Impel Down. And then it cuts to Arlong and Jimbei as they're standing toe-to-toe to each other on a separate location.
Kill me right now!
Arlong!
Otherwise, I'm free. I embody the rage of the fishmen!
Shut up, brat!
And Jimbei just decks Arlong. And just beats him up. Jimbei, stop! Jimbei literally destroyed Arlong. Just like, shut up, brat! It was like, bah, 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 boom, boom, boom! Just weave, just beating him up. There's no point to dwell on it, Jimbei. You grew up together in the Fishman district. He's like a brother to you, no matter how much he deserves it. I know you can't kill him.
Why won't that idiot understand? Tiger's true intentions were...
Wherever he sails, if he goes on a rampage, the Navy will take action. If anything does happen, we'll have to stop him ourselves. With Jimbei as one of the 7 warlords of the sea and the return of Arlong, the Sun Pirates... the Sun Pirates broke up into 3 factions and went their separate ways. We're going back to the way we used to be, Captain Jimbei, and this is Macro and his people who would later become kidnappers.
You...
Come on, Hody.
Darn it, that strong bastard.
And so, we have Jimbei, who's with the Sun Pirates. We have Macro and his later to be kidnappers, and then we have Arlong being helped along by Chu as they go off to form the Arlong Pirates. Main entrance, Fishman Island. Ryugu Palace! Ryugu Palace! This is the Border Patrol! We have a giant wrecked ship requesting emergency entry! What are you doing? Hurry up and bring them in! There must be some mistake!
A celestial dragon is on the ship!
Bring them in at once! Send their emergency crew to the docks!
Yes, Your Majesty.
Queen Otohime!
I'm going there right now!
Queen Otohime!
And that's the end of Chapter 264. Chapter 265, Uninherited Will. Text of the World, Volume 11, Baratier Remodeling. And the Baratier is being turned into an even bigger restaurant ship, while Zeph is looking at the newspaper, smiling. Obviously, probably looking at the news that the Straw Hats have fully returned.
The ship of the celestial dragon? It looks like they were attacked by the creatures of the seafloor!
What's a celestial dragon doing down here?
Hurry it up!
Hurry it up! Blast them. The weak-willed trash all died.
Hurry up and bring me a mask! Fish! This place reeks of fishmen! Bring me a mask and save my life, you fools!
Saint Miasgard, World Noble, Celestial Dragon.
A doctor! Get me a doctor! I'm going to die!
As he is demanding that people bring him a doctor while he's also shooting at him. I don't know if this Joker don't realize, but if you want someone to help him, you don't shoot at them to make them move faster. You shoot them in the leg, it's going to make it take longer. But then again, these celestial dragons aren't exactly smart. They're just spoiled brats who are eternally so. They don't grow out of it.
Where are the doctors?
They're here, but how should we deal with this? We should kill him. That kind is the world's worst trash.
And Hody is the one who says that they should kill Saint Miasgard.
There seems to be an emotion at the port.
A celestial dragon is asking for help with his wrecked ship. Captain Vander Decken?
There seems to be a commotion at the port.
A celestial dragon is asking for help with his wrecked ship.
Captain Vander Decken?
That sounds like fun.
And no one's helping Miasgard.
This isn't what was supposed to happen. What?
What? The fishermen slaves went back to,
What? The fishermen slaves went back to Fishman Island? Why, Daddy?
Well, my son, a fishman called Jimbei became one of the 7 warlords of the sea. So the sun pirates all returned to their homes. Some former slaves were among them.
Then I'll go bring them back, Daddy. I paid good money for my Fishman slave collection.
Hey, stop!
What are you going to do? Huh?
As Miasgard looks up, and a whole bunch of fishmen are already there with guns in hand. They are ready to kill him. And all of these fishmen have the mark of the sun pirates on them. I wouldn't be surprised if these are the same slaves that Miasgard used to own.
Hey, you're my slaves. You're coming back with me. When did I grant you fish your freedom?
Also, they are his slaves. And they all point their guns at Miasgard.
Yeah!
Stop! He's a celestial dragon! It'll nullify your pardons!
Stop it, you fools! Don't you realize who I am?
The power you wield on the surface is only guaranteed by your Navy admirals. You're on the floor of the sea now. As long as the other islanders keep quiet, you're just another shipwrecked corpse.
And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. They could kill him right now and the world government would never know. They could just off him and dump him into the ocean for him to be eaten and they wouldn't even find the body. I'm just saying, it's an option. It's an option. He's right. I'll keep quiet. Me too. We all will.
If we left him alone, he'd die anyway.
Give him a taste of the pain you experience.
Kill him!
Make him suffer before he dies. What is this? I'm great and powerful. So why?
You're great and powerful in lineage only, not in any other means. It's like Xerxes from 300. He thought he was divine and powerful, and yet Leonidas was able to make a god king bleed. So, it's kind of like that type of mindset. It is not the lush they fear. It is my divine power.
What is this? I'm great and powerful. So why?
I suppose I know I'm supposed to forgive, but I can never forgive you.
Stop! Kill him! Wait! Rotten fish!
And then the gunfire goes off. And then it shows that, Otohime saved Saint Miasgard by making him dodge out of the, by pushing him out of the way, but she still got clipped in the shoulder.
Queen Otohime! The bullet hit the queen!
And Miasgard is gasping for life.
Queen Otohime!
Put down your guns. Right now! The children are watching.
And they realize that there are many children who are watching all this stuff happen. Because imagine, you see you're a child and you see an adult shoot another person and saying it's justice and everything. Imagine how that could influence their actions in the future once they grow older. Think about it.
Aladdin, what happened to the celestial dragon?
I just got here.
Big Boss
Jimbei, our mother ran out of the palace and...
Princess.
What's the celestial dragon, brother?
Shirahoshi, age 6.
They're humans, Shirahoshi. One of the scarier types.
It only grazed me.
Queen Otohime, but why are you protecting him? Do you realize what that man has done?
I feel the suffering in your hearts. I know how much you hurt, but please, don't let yourselves hate the humans and don't teach your children to hate them. They will meet them one day. They will learn.
Yes, because racism is taught. It's not born in a person, it's taught to a person. And you don't want to pass that on to children because it makes them stupid once they get older. Trust me. There are adults who were taught this and they're still stupid to this day because they have that mindset. Yeah, I'm talking about y'all. Yeah, not y'all here, but I'm talking about the ones who were raised with that type of mindset. They're still stupid to this day with that mindset. You got that? If you have that type of mindset for like overall for any person of any nationality, you're stupid until you stop. You're permanently stupid until you stop. Permanently.
Don't teach your children to hate them. They will meet them one day. Then they will learn.
Please, don't say anything to the people of the island. Don't tell them of our tragedy, of our rage against the humans.
And then someone holds up a gun.
Hey!
Mother!
Mother, look out!
And Miasgard holds a gun to Otohime's head.
No, Your Majesty!
And Shirahoshi cries out, and it echoes throughout all of Fishman Island. And then something crashes right behind Miasgard and everyone. And the entirety of Fishman Island is immediately surrounded by multiple Neptunians, multiple Sea Kings. They are massive, and one of them also pretty much ate the entire ship that Miasgard was on. There's multiple Sea Kings all around this whole place.
Neptunians!
But for the sake of this volume, for the sake of the series, I'm just going to say Neptunians.
Neptunians!
And Jimbei, everyone is terrified. Everyone is terrified at seeing these Neptunians all looming over the entirety of Fishman Island. I can't even describe just how big they are. They're to us what a regular person is to Godzilla or King Ghidorah. They are that massive. They're just monstrous. But everyone is terrified seeing this. And then Miasgard fully passes out, foaming at the mouth. And then the Neptunians start to leave.
It's the legend,
goes Vander Decken.
What was that? It can't be a coincidence.
And Shirahoshi is crying, but Otohime, with horror in her eyes and shock in her eyes, goes,
Shirahoshi, are you?
And Miasgard is unconscious, and Hody Jones is in the back, and he's looking at Shirahoshi.
Long ago, a pirate, a mermaid princess, had the uncanny ability to control Neptunians. That legend was what lured the first Vander Decken down to the seafloor. Great ancestor! I finally found her!
You did it, Captain!
Shh! Shut up! The legend of the truth of the legend is a secret that belongs to my family alone, I think. First, I have to marry the princess.
But Shirahoshi is only a child!
Yeah, that's a problem here.
And it shows Aladdin standing over the celestial dragon, who's still, very much unconscious. It takes so much strength to not to hate and evolve from their upbringing. It takes a lot, because that type of upbringing is basically indoctrination. It really is a form of indoctrination. Teaching kids to hate at such a young age is nothing short of evil. I'm just saying, that's what it is. Teaching kids to hate people because of either the color of their skin, the places that they come from, their financial status, or even anything that would make another person look down on another person. Teaching a kid that type of ideal is fundamentally and humanely wrong. Completely. So when I see these instances in here, it's something that's still present to this day. And it's anyone who thinks that that's okay to teach your kids, you're stupid. You are pure and unadulteratedly stupid. But let's focus here. I'm almost done.
Aladdin.
I'll see to him. Queen Otohime, you need Queen Otohime, you need medical attention. A few weeks later, following intensive treatment, the celestial dragon recovered from his wounds.
Remember this, you fools! You're my goods, and you pointed a gun at your master. I'll make you regret that!
We saved his life and he's threatening us. We can't let him go. He'll endanger the entire island.
Please, wait. It seems we're not done talking yet. In that case, I better accompany you to the surface.
And Miasgard looks back, as Otohime apparently wants to go with him.
That's crazy, Queen Otohime!
Wait, Otohime, I won't allow you to do something so reckless. If someone must talk to the nobles, then I will do it.
King Neptune! The humans wouldn't dare harm the king!
No, it means nothing if you go.
Exactly. You've experienced that a few times in your life, and you dealt with it accordingly, as have I.
The only way to prove it's safe for us and the best way you can respond to it is to not respond how they think you should respond.
They expect people of our skin tones to respond irate, be loud, be boisterous, threaten their lives. But the best way to deal with that is to do the entire opposite. Because only a fool can argue with themselves. And an even bigger idiot expects you to... it's like that old saying, don't bring yourself down to an idiot's level, because they will beat you with experience. So be above that. It's that simple.
The only way to prove it's safe for us to go to the surface is for someone weak like me to go there and return.
Mother!
Where's Queen Otohime going? Queen Otohime!
Otohime.
Believe in the woman you love, and in the humans too.
Cheeky little...
And then Otohime gets on the ship with Miasgard. More sleepless nights pass, as the entire kingdom of Ryugu worries about the queen.
Don't worry, cheer up.
Where's Queen Otohime, Big Boss?
Just trust her and wait. You know she's always.
A single week felt like 100 days. I miss her speeches. Oh, so now you miss all the efforts that she was doing. Now you miss her. She was doing this for 5 years straight. And because of something that happened to Fisher Tiger and how y'all already had deep-seated resentment for humans already, this just boosted that. And because of what happened to Fisher Tiger, you just wanted to forsake the queen and her efforts. But now it's all like, oh, you don't know how good a thing was until it's gone. Now they're missing the queen and her speeches. I miss her speeches.
Queen Otohime is...
A single week felt like 100 days. I miss her speeches.
Queen Otohime is back!
After some days of negotiations, Queen Otohime was able to appease the high-handed celestial dragon.
Oh, Queen Otohime! I'm so glad you're alive. We're so proud of you.
Welcome back, Queen Otohime!
Moreover, the piece of paper Otohime held would become a ray of hope for all of Fishman Island. And that's the end of chapter 265. Onwards to the last chapter of this volume, chapter 226. I said 220. Did I say 625? Chapter 626. Why I said 226. 626. Sorry, I got numbers on the brain. I'm also hungry. Chapter kind of like the people in Syrup Village when Usopp left. Yeah. Chapter 626. Neptune Brothers. Decks of the World. Volume 12. Baratier. Joint dessert ship. Sister Monkfish. Which is something that Patty is also in charge of. So not only do we have the Baratier, but we have a joint ship that allows people to go underwater, and they can experience eating and dining on the water. We'll pretend you didn't. It happens. I forget the numbers. Numbers sometimes. I'm not dyslexic, but I just forget just mix up the numbers sometimes. But yeah, chapter 626. Last one was 625. But we get Vander Decken.
A special treasure box? Aye, Captain. They say it's somewhere in Ryugu Castle. And it has the power to make anybody age? Yes, it's called the Tamate Box. So you can turn a tiny little kid this high into a sexy young woman? Aye, certain it could. Good job, problem solved. Then I can marry Princess Shirahoshi right away, I think. Go steal that treasure box right now! Ryugu Castle is impenetrable, but if you marry Shirahoshi, you could go in and out of the castle whenever you wanted. You're smart! Bah! Oh.
It's kind of a tongue twister. Yes, I am horrible at tongue twisters. So, tongue twisters, it's tongue twisters for me, but for numbers sometimes. That's exactly what it is. It's like tongue twisters, but it happens to me with numbers.
You're smart! Bah! Oh. Shirahoshi is a real beauty, and she'll be even better 10 or 20 years from now.
But she'll definitely be even huger.
Don't call her huge, call her Apple. Like, anyway, I like big women. When I become her husband, I will have finally achieved the dream of all the Vander Deckens who came before me. All right, time to write these invitations for the wedding.
You have to propose to her first, Captain Decken.
No, I don't have any friends.
He's kind of jumping the gun just a little bit. I'm just saying, kind of jumping the gun just a little bit. Concord Plaza.
A statement from a world noble carried great weight, even at the reverie, the Conference of Kings. And this is a written statement for a world noble. Here's what it says. I, too, approve of friendship between fishmen and humans, as stated in the petition. In other words, if we were to present lots of signatures at the reverie, this one piece of paper could make our dreams a reality. Then we could emigrate. Then we could all emigrate.
She sells seashells by the seashore. Yeah. See, I already flubbed it the moment I started. See, I'm bad at both number twisters and tongue twisters for words and tongue twisters for numbers as well. But it's just, it twists me when I look at it. So it happens to me from time to time. He's coming from a long line of heathens, yes. The signature of a celestial dragon will make it happen? I'm not sure what to think of that.
All we need now is as many of your signatures as possible. It's all up to you. Please show me your willingness to live with the humans. Show me your willingness to emigrate to the surface.
And then there's silence. And then some children run up. The same kids that ran up that took their signatures because
My mommy said that this isn't good, so I gotta take it back now.
and they all dropped their signatures right back into the box for Queen Otohime.
Children, you always give me such hope. You won't ask for it back later, will you?
No way! And Mom said she'll sign too!
What?
And then more and more petitions start to fill up the box until it starts to overflow, much to Otohime's surprise. Hey, wait your turn! Line up, everyone! Quit pushing! And people with genuine smile, and the citizens of fish, I don't want to just call them fishmen and mermaids. The citizens, because that just feels like I'm just referring to them the same way uneducated people do in the series. The citizens of Fishman Island are all happily bringing petitions to the queen. Queen Otohime, you're gonna need a bigger box. Don't you know how many people live here? And then seeing how genuine the people are, she starts tearing up. Excuse me, put them in this box, please. How many chuck could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? That's it, and I'll leave you alone. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? That one I'm more used to. But seashells, seashore, sometimes you just can't get together. You see? Excuse me, put them in this box. And this is the minister of the right. Queen Otohime, this is no time for tears. Why don't you rest over there?
But
if you approve of the queen's passion, come here and give us your signatures. And then, while the minister of the left is tending to Queen Otohime, everyone is cheering for the queen and getting ready to put their petitions in. After 7 years, Otohime's trials and tribulations had finally borne fruit, and all her subjects loved her. People from all over the kingdom gathered at the plaza with their signatures in hand, day after day. Bring your signatures here, please! And this is, her sons all grown higher.
at that moment, I felt a surge of courage. I knew this island could really change.
At what moment?
When the Neptunians came to the island.
Oh, that was a real surprise.
Shirahoshi summoned them.
What? As Fukaboshi, Momboshi, and Ryuboshi are in shock of this news. Pardon me.
We merfolk take talking to the fishes for granted, but none of us can talk to the Neptunians. Even your father, who alone can communicate with whales, is unable to do so. But according to a legend passed down in the royal family, a mermaid who can communicate with the Neptunians is born once every few centuries.
A mermaid who can communicate with those giant Neptunians?
And you're telling us it's Shirahoshi, Mother? That's incredible! That's incredible! I always wanted to ride a Neptunian!
Along with that special mermaid will come one who can guide her to use her power for good. And when that time comes, the world will change. That's what the legend says.
The world will change?
And that means this island will change as well.
Tell us, and we hope it will be a great help to you, Mother.
Yes, I'm sure it will. The power of love can save thousands when used correctly.
When used correctly.
But if used maliciously, it could sink the entire world. It is a formidable power that can be utterly destructive. Your sister is not aware of this power, nor can she control it. If anything truly traumatic should happen to her, she might unwittingly cause the Neptunians to run amok.
What?
If that were to happen,
Fishman Island would be wrecked. What should we do then, Mother?
I'll take care of that. For now, we're safe. That's why you princes must grow up to be brave warriors. As her brothers and protectors, you must defend your sister with your lives.
It's the job of any brother, really. I mean, it's my job to my two sisters. It's one of the reasons why I work out is not to be fit, but to be strong enough to protect them. Sure, there are other people who are going to come into their lives who do that job, but as their brother, it is my eternal job to do that. So I understand the job that Shirahoshi is asking her sons.
That's why you princes must grow up to be brave warriors. As your brothers and protectors, you must defend your sister with your lives.
We will, Mother!
For sure!
Thank you.
The incident occurred without warning.
Get away! It's burning! The box with the signature suddenly caught fire! Put it out!
Someone set fire to the signature box.
Please put out the fires! The signatures!
Save the signatures! Don't let them burn! Water! Get some water!
And then there's a bang. There's a sudden bang. A gunshot goes off. Huh? What was that noise?
Who cares? We gotta put out the fire!
And then some blood drops in front of someone.
How could this happen? All those signatures we gathered!
And Otohime doesn't move. Because she's the one who's been shot. And she drops to her knees.
My queen!
And she looks at the blood that's shooting from her gunshot wound. And it's a fatal one because it's right through her chest. Right? And I would say it's right where her heart is supposed to be. And she falls to the ground as all the citizens see her.
Queen Otohime's been shot!
Who did it? Where'd it come from? Goes Aladdin.
There's a sniper somewhere! Protect the royal family!
Mother!
Mother!
And Shirahoshi, the same one that she just warned her sons to protect over and warned her about what would happen if a traumatic event happened. Shirahoshi sees this.
Everyone, leave the plaza!
My queen, please hold on!
Medic, hurry!
Yes, sir.
Princes, you must go aboard the Ryugu ship right now!
Mother! And Otohime is in the hands of the minister of the right. Well, I think the minister of the left. And she's huffing and puffing and breathing heavily as she starts bleeding from the mouth.
Queen Otohime!
Oh, this is terrible! And in the confusion, Vander Decken slips in and touches Shirahoshi on the arm. And this is the same hand that he used that would allow him to aim at Shirahoshi all the many years later. He slips in.
This is a hard time, eh, princess?
Who are you? Get away from the princess!
And one of the guards immediately fires at Vander Decken, who immediately runs away.
Mother, are you all right?
We have to get you to the hospital right now!
Who did this? They will pay! And Fukaboshi is already ready to throw hands. But Otohime puts her hand on his to calm him down. And she's still breathing heavily. Mother!
Stay by my side, my little angels. Calm yourselves. I let down my guard. I was so happy about the signatures.
Queen Otohime, you need medical attention!
Prince Fukaboshi, it's rather embarrassing.
My queen, you must let me treat you!
Whoever the culprit is, don't be angry for my sake. Don't let hatred consume you.
As the sons, all the princes start to tear up because Otohime is crying. Well, Otohime is, slowly dying.
Mother!
Shirahoshi, stay strong.
And Shirahoshi is shaking, and she's preparing to cry. The very thing that Otohime warned against.
If anything truly traumatic should happen to her.
And Shirahoshi starts crying.
Shirahoshi!
Huh? And Shirahoshi is steadily crying.
Sunfish Mambo, look at me, Shirahoshi! Sunfish Mambo, it's nothing, Mambo! Dancing is so much fun, yeah!
And Mamboshi is, trying to keep Shirahoshi distracted. But he's crying his eyes out.
It's so much fun! Nothing's happened! It's time to sing now, Shirahoshi! The three of us will always be with you, Latido! Princess, what are you doing? Stop the princess! How can you sing and dance at a time like this?
But Mambo and Mamboshi and Ryuboshi are just doing their dance and everything to keep Shirahoshi distracted. But they're fighting. They're having a hard time fighting back tears.
Mother, look at us. We'll be okay. We're gonna stay right here and protect our little sister Latino.
And it's hard for them.
Stop that, please. Don't you realize the state the queen is in?
But Otohime can only smile because she knows that her sons are fulfilling the wish that she wanted for them. Even Fukaboshi is fighting back tears, but he drops to his knee. Or at least, do you call it a knee if you're a merman?
Mother, we'll gather the signatures again. The three of us will become great warriors like father, and we'll defend Shirahoshi with our lives, just like we promised.
And Fukaboshi, with a smile on his face, but tears all over his face, goes, "So please don't worry."
Soon, we'll look upon the real sun.
And these are the last words of Otohime, as all the citizens cry, the two ministers cry, and Otohime is able to give her children that last pinky swear. To be continued in One Piece Volume 64. We are now here after the tragic story of not only Fisher Tiger, but the tragic story of the benevolent Queen Otohime, and why Fishman Island is the way it is right now. Sad story, it really is. Man. Sorry if I had to break into those little discussions earlier on. I know it kind of, broke up the story a little bit, but I just had to get those types of thoughts out of my mind, because this is the mindset I've had for many, many years. Like that type of mindset that Hody Jones would have against humans, or the types that the Celestial Dragons would have against Fishman. It's that type of mentality that makes me even want to go even harder for this channel as a whole, because this is a place where all are welcome. It doesn't matter what walks of life you're from. It doesn't matter what skin color you have. It doesn't matter who you are. All that matters is that you're entertained when you're here, and you are free to be here. There's no specific demographic I'm searching for whenever I do stuff like this. All are welcome. And that is the type of mindset this whole world should have. Not just me, but the whole world itself. We're all people at the end of the day. This does not dictate. This does not dictate your worth in this world. The color of this does not dictate your worth in this world. A pigmentation that's higher or deeper than mine does not make that person better or lesser than me. And this is the mindset that the whole world should have. So a person like Otohime, who looks past that, is one to be fully respected. One of the greatest characters in One Piece, simply because of her efforts. Even if it meant her being ostracized and no one paid attention, she still had fast to her ideals for a better tomorrow for everyone. A world of peace, an era of peace. That's to be commended. That's to be respected. And that's why I actually really loved reading through this volume today. But I'm done. And we need more channels like mine, minus the toxicity. See, I'm not for the toxic stuff, because that's ridiculous. I'm not gonna, and I highly suggest against anyone behaving toxic-like for anything. It's like, if there are people doing stuff out there, I just don't condone the toxic nature, because we don't need it. Sure, it gets attention, it gets you subscribers, but is it worth it at the end of the day? Answer, no, because it just, more toxicity breeds even more toxicity. New One Punch Man chapter is out? It is? Okay, well, I know what I'm about to do in about a good 10 minutes. We're going to be reacting to today's newest One Punch Man chapter. So let me go ahead and end this before this hits 3 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a very, I wouldn't call this a philosophical volume, but it did put a lot of thoughts in my head. A lot of thoughts in my head. Hold on. Let me check real quick for One Punch Man. Because One Punch Man does drop on Wednesdays. Yeah, it's out right now. It's out now on Viz. Sweet, so I get to react to it. Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I loved reading through this. This was by far the longest volume reading I had to do, because there were 12 chapters instead of the usual 10 or 11. But overall, I enjoy this chapter. I love Queen Otohime. She's a fantastic character, and we need more people like Otohime in the world today. So, I'm going to call it quits here, because I need to go ahead and prepare for the next chapter of One Punch Man, because I got so many questions, especially after that whole monster hero gambling situation. I wonder how much more in the depths of depravity the Heroes Association is going to be for One Punch Man. But that'll be for later. But thank you, everyone. It is an immense honor and privilege to bring you the entirety of One Piece to this channel. This has been a 62 plus day journey, excluding Sundays, that I started all the way back in May. And now we're in the New World section, so we have less than 20 days left. I want to say we got 20 days left to go. We got 20 days left to go before I'm done with this One Piece series. And so I just want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to entertain all of you, especially new people everywhere. I thank you for the continued support of this channel. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, because these things do support the channel and help this channel grow even bigger, then please like, subscribe, and share this stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples!